So many fans in sports are motivated by their team winning, but it's the passion and pride in their city, their fellow fans present and past, and the coming together that separates Philadelphia fans from all others. It's not about just the logos, it's about those who wear them and cross the street to support each other in the journey down that very long path toward eternal celebration. Almost 44 years ago, the parades began. The admiration and celebration of champions to be forever remembered. They don't always come as often as we prefer, but when they make their way down Broad Street, none are more appreciated. Whether you raised Lord Stanley in the 70s, embraced your first title in 80, won the Epic Showdown in 83, captured the '08 Fall Classic no matter how long Mother Nature made you wait, or finally hoisted Lombardi, millions were there to say thank you.
We love you. Thank you so much. Most beautiful fans in the country.
Philadelphia fans know that if you win today, you walk together forever. We understand that we need to trust the process. It has been made very clear that hungry dogs run faster. And starting again today, the goal is another Red October. A fan base that can be bold in its own way is just getting acquainted with this new era of Phillies. A mission is in place to build and win while the youth of the Phillies have turned to promise. The first-class approach will hopefully lead to another parade.
We're going to have conviction, we're going to fight, and we're going to win.
Let's get it right for these fans. They're passionate. They expect an incredible amount of effort. They expect you to sacrifice your body. They expect you to never take a play off. They're going to let you know about it if you do. And we love that. I love that personally.
The 2018 Phillies have arrived, and just in time for opening day. Who doesn't like a parade? Everybody does. The Phillies hope there will be a parade at the end of this season, at the end of the postseason. But earlier today, the Atlanta Braves paraded into their new ballpark, SunTrust Park, as they have the same aspirations as the Phillies do. 162 games and hopefully a postseason berth. Welcome, everybody, to year number 136 of Phillies baseball. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy along with John Kruk. We'll hear from Greg Murphy in just a little bit. Welcome to opening day. It is great to hear that sound. We've already heard the crack of the bat all around Major League Baseball today, but for the Phillies, this is where it all begins, and there's nothing better than opening day.
No, there isn't. It should be a national holiday. I'm going to recommend that to our government to get a little opening day holiday for the kids to get out of school. But this is exciting, Tom, because we have so many people down there who this is their first opening day in Major League Baseball ever. A lot of the young players, some of the coaches, but the young players, they have to be excited. They have to have the butterflies. If they don't, there's something wrong with them, because we have them up here, and we got one of 162 coming. It is an exciting day all around, but these guys down there, they're ready to go.
Well, speaking of butterflies, Aaron Nola said, I'm not sure if I'm going to have butterflies, but I'm certainly going to be excited as he gets the baseball today for the Phils to kick off the season.
Well, he proved last year that he was one of the top starters in baseball in the second half of the season. A great curveball, which we see right here, can go to both sides of the plate, which we see, but he has great run on his fastball, and when his velocity's in the 93 to 95 range, it makes him a tough character to have to deal with the off-speed pitches that he can throw also. So this is going to be one of many opening day starts for Aaron Nola, and I look for big things from him this year.
Kind of setting the tone for the new Phillies. You look at the opening day first impressions. Cole Hamels has started 2 during his Phillies career. Brett Myers did it 3 times. Bruce Ruffin back in 90. These are Phillies homegrown pitchers that have started opening day, and Aaron Nola gets the baseball today. Hey, the other new thing today is that Gabe Kapler will manage his first major league game, and we asked him about that.
Sometimes it wakes me up in the middle of the night as we start thinking about their lineup and we start thinking about their bullpen and trying to prepare and match up effectively. But I haven't had a few moments to sort of sit back and realize the magnitude of all of this. I understand it very generally, very broadly, but I haven't had a whole lot of time to stop and appreciate it. I imagine sometime around November 1st I'll be able to do that.
Kind of like that thinking somewhere around November 1st. That kind of leads you to believe that Gabe Kapler has some postseason plans for the Phils. Julio Teheran making his 5th opening day start against Nola. And yeah, this is who is in the lineup today. This is not how they sit from 1 through 9. But these 9 guys get a chance to kick off the season for the Phils, including Aaron Altair in center field, Nick Williams in right field. We are ready to go. So come on back to Atlanta for opening day. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, America's best internet provider, according to speedtest.net. By Toyota. Save big all March during Toyota's Ready, Set, Go sales event. Toyota, let's go places. By Citizens Bank, official bank of the Phils. Visit citizensbank.com. By Coca-Cola. Taste the feeling. And by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Learn more at ibx.com. First, a little thunder to roll through the area on a windy afternoon. Yeah, there's Hammer and Hank. Hank Aaron honored before the start of today's ball game. He and his wife in the convertible rolling along the warning track in the Phillies dugout. That's nice to see. You know, the guys recognizing the great Hank Aaron. Adam Morgan, who grew up a Braves fan, he got a chance to wave at him for a moment. Gabe Kapler getting the ground rules from Jerry Lane and his crew for the first time as a major league manager. Brian Snitker, the manager of the Atlanta Braves. Some people wondered if he would be around for this season. They've got a new general manager, and they also have revamped their team and their organization since last year. So let's take a look at Gabe Kapler's first ever lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, America's best internet provider, according to speedtest.net. Yeah, it is a little different than what everybody anticipated. No Odubel Herrera. We'll get to that in just a moment. Nick Williams starts in right field and hits third, and then Aaron Altair will bat behind Rhys Hoskins and bat fifth and play center field. And Andrew Knapp gets the nod today behind the plate with Aaron Nola on the mounds. Well, they continue on with the ground rules. Let's go down and welcome in Greg Murphy for the first time this year. Murph, what's going on, buddy?
Well, thank you very much, Tom. Good to be with you guys as always. And you just mentioned Gabe Kapler's first lineup as a manager for the Phils. And as you would imagine, as soon as the lineup came out, there were a lot of questions about, well, how did you come up with this first Major League lineup? A couple of names that you thought maybe would be in there, not in the opening day lineup. And Gabe answered all the questions today by reporters saying, look, it's important to keep in mind that this is one game out of 162 and that they're trying not to make these decisions in a vacuum, and that he has communicated with the guys that even though you may not be in one particular lineup, here's the plan. Maybe 6-7 days out, this is the plan that we're going to have, and the guys can see, all right, maybe I'm not playing tonight, but I will be playing in the next couple of days. I'm going to get my time. I'm going to get my at-bats. He said as long as we communicate with these guys on a consistent basis, he believes that all of the problems that may come from a guy not getting into a particular lineup will go away. And so he talked to the guys that are not in today's lineup. He said everybody is on board with what they're trying to do, and they're just trying to win game number 1 right here in Atlanta, so that's what they're looking for.
Yeah, and it's interesting, too. It's not just about the specific statistics. A lot of times we look at, Aaron Altair being 2 for 16 against Julio Teheran. And Gabe told me earlier today, he said it's not about that. It's about a lot of other things. Swing plane, exit velocity, a lot of statistics that they have put into this capsule and sort of put together. So there's Julio Teheran, who will make the start. It's his 5th start for the Atlanta Braves on opening day. Isn't it amazing to think that nobody else in Atlanta Braves history, and we're not talking Milwaukee or Boston, but Atlanta Braves history has made 5 opening day starts.
Yeah, you would think at some point that Maddox, Glavine, Smoltz, Phil Niekro, someone would have made more than 5 opening day starts. But you know what? Good for this young man. He's been a workhorse for this Atlanta Braves team, and he's the elder statesman of the rotation, so he has to lead too.
Well, there's Brian Snitker, who has been very happy with the way Teheran has thrown during the course of spring training. He had an excellent spring, made 5 starts, and had an ERA of 0.87 during spring training games in Orlando. Well, the ground rules took a little extra time, as you would expect on opening day.
Shocking.
This is the 2nd year of this ballpark and the first time that Gabe Kapler has been here. So Jerry Lane gave him a little extra time. So Cesar Hernandez will lead things off. Not a surprise. That's where he usually is. Last year hit .294 with 9 home runs and 34 runs batted in. All right, so we were told to be bold as we begin the 2018 season, and that's what the Phillies are going to try to do this afternoon as they kick things off against the Atlanta Braves.
We have the same start that we had last year on opening day. Didn't Cesar hit a homer in his first at bat?
It would be good to have the extra base power. So Teheran's ready, so are we. And the first pitch of the 2018 season is right in there for a strike. So we are underway as they throw that baseball aside.
Now what happens if he'd have hit that?
Well, they would have picked it up after he had gotten to second base, and they would have then thrown it out.
What if it went up in the seats?
Well, then somebody else would have gone home with it.
What do they do with the bat?
0-1 pitch is outside. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Mariano Rivera has what, 9,000 saves? He has his house at 9,000 baseballs.
Yeah, it'll look like
save?
the Hall of Fame club at
gosh.
Citizens Bank Park.
Back to baseball.
Cesar hits it sharply into right center field, a base hit, and the first hit of the year off the bat of Cesar Hernandez, and the Phillies have a base runner right out of the chute.
Really good start. Now here's the interesting part with Cesar. We know about his speed. We know last year he was reluctant to steal bases. He got picked off a lot. Teheran has quick feet and a quick throw over to first base. But does Gabe Kapler say, you know what, I'm going to send him, I'm going to put him in motion and hope that Santana can do something with it?
Well, Carlos Santana, acquired as a free agent this past offseason by the Phillies, did not necessarily have a very good spring. But the Phillies are banking on what he did last season, which was 23 home runs and 79 runs batted in, but also a .365 on base percentage. Well, he is definitely an upgrade as far as the Phils are concerned. Brought to you by Nissan. Upgrade to the technology of tomorrow today. His last 7 seasons, a .249 average, but on base percentage .363 during that time. And it's 1 ball and no strikes.
I think I like about Santana is the fact that he's a switch hitter. you know, in the way that Gabe Kapler's going to mix and match the lineup, there might be times when he hits behind Rhys Hoskins, and I think it's just a great pickup for the Phillies because of what he can do and the place he's been. He's played in the World Series.
Inside 2-0. The switch hitting part of it is a key, according to Gabe Kapler. It's part of the reason against specific teams that he likes to have the switch hitters, like Cesar, like Carlos Santana, like Knapp, in the lineup at one time. 2 balls and no strikes to Santana. And he hits this one right in front of the plate, picked up by Flowers, who goes to second, and it's in time.
Got to slide.
I'm surprised that Cesar did not slide.
I think he assumed that they weren't going to throw it to second, but Tyler Flowers got on that one quick.
Have to slide because you may have been safe, but you also have to make sure that you get the infielder so he doesn't throw to first base, too.
Yeah, but I mean, look at this. I mean, he's running hard, but then he slows up because he thinks that there's going to be no play. And just because he slowed up, that caused him to be out there. They get that force out.
Well, what a way. The putout goes 2-4 at second base. And here's Nick Williams. Williams came up last year and was a very good addition to the Phillies lineup. Hit .288 with 12 homers and 55 RBIs. And that one's off the glove of Flowers, and Martinez will go up to second base. So the Phils have a runner in scoring position with 1 man down. Santana goes up to second base.
Carlos
Santana.
And this is the thing with Nick Williams. You know they're going to try to pitch him hard in. And that ball just cut right there on Tehran, and Tyler Flowers had no chance. And now we got scoring position. Let's see if we can improve from that last year.
Williams last year, 55 runs batted in. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. One of the things that stood out about Odubel Herrera against the Braves last year and during his career, he has very good numbers against them overall, particularly here in this ballpark last season. But when talking to Gabe about the lineup, it was more about how Nick Williams' swing plane was against Tehran and those type of pitchers that led him to start him in right field and move Altair to center. You get the feeling that Altair was probably going to start in right field if Odubel would have been in center field. And again, I think what Gabe even said to the members of the media, it's going to be a little different.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of numbers that are going to be utilized.
And it's going to be a great thing if it works. But there's always room for second guess. Like, wait a sec, this guy's been your best player the last 3 years. And he's not in the lineup.
Williams down on strikes. The throw to first base. Santana stays at second. So the first strikeout for Tehran. 2 outs here in the first.
Well, Nick is a free swinger. 2 strikes on him, and he will expand his zone. And Tehran and Tyler Flowers took advantage of that breaking ball in the dirt that Nick chased. It's going to take a 2-out hit. Now, this is going to be interesting, too. Runner on second, even though it's a first inning, a base open. We know that the second half of the season, he was our biggest run producer last year. Do you let him have a chance to beat you? And it's going to be interesting to see how Rhys adapts to this, but how pitchers pitch to him in these situations.
18 home runs, 48 runs batted in. He floats one down the right field line. That's in for a base hit. The Phils will take the lead. Santana scores easily, and Hoskins will pull into second base with an RBI double. It's a 1-0 lead here in the top of the first. Boy, you like that, John, in an RBI situation.
Tony Perez. Drive more in going the other way, and you will pulling them, and that's a fact. But this is just a great piece of hitting. I don't think he was trying to go to right field, but you know what? Who cares? He dropped it in for a double. Now we got the same situation. Runner on second, 2 outs. Phil's on top. Great start of the season for Rhys Hoskins already.
Well, Aaron Altair, who was having a solid season last year until injuries sort of sidetracked it. The hamstring was the big one.
Love to see what he could do with the full season of health. I think he has superstar written all over him. So athletic, great outfielder, can hit, power.
Yeah, offensively and defensively, when he's right, he's as good as you will find.
I don't think there's any question about that, especially on this young Phillies team.
We were talking as we were walking out to the dugout today. We were talking about the wind because it is whipping out, and this is a ballpark that surrenders a lot of home runs. And he said, I hope it's not blowing in. I said, oh no, it's blowing out. He said, all right, good. Conditions 73 degrees, and the wind is up to 17 miles an hour.
Gusting at about 50 though in our booth.
It's kind of windy up here. One ball and 2 strikes. Out toward right center field. Inciarte is there. And he'll track it down. And the Phils do get a run. 1 run on 2 hits. They leave 1 in scoring position. We'll move to the bottom of the first. Phillies 1. Braves coming up. For you to do around the ballpark. They certainly have found something for Bobby Cox to do.
I don't have to wear a suit. I'm good to go.
Let's take a look at the Braves lineup, brought to you by Xfinity, America's best internet provider, according to speedtest.net. Well, Ender Inciarte once again is leading things off for the Atlanta Braves. They're going to have some youngsters come up. Ozzie Albies, we saw him last year. They're expecting big things from him in the number 2 spot. Facing Aaron Nola. Inciarte last year hit .304 with 11 home runs. Shows bunt, takes a strike, and it's 0-1. All right, so how about these numbers for Aaron Nola?
Well, really good numbers last year on a team that was not very good, but the second half of the season he was as good as they got in the National League. And look at his numbers against the Braves.
Little tapper back towards second base, and 1 away.
And that's a good start right there, keeping Inciarte off base. You know he could run, creates a lot of havoc on the bases.
Well, with 1 out, it brings Ozzie Albies to the plate. Albies is just 21 years old. We saw him for the first time last year as a 20-year-old. Hit .286 last season with 6 homers and 28 runs batted in. Made his major league debut on the 1st of August. They have a couple guys that we're going to wind up seeing this year, including Ronald Acuna, who's going to be out in the outfield eventually playing left field.
Yeah, that's a young man who's a difference maker in a lineup. We got to see him this spring.
Yeah, I think a lot of people expected that he would have a chance to be up here, kind of like Scott Kingery.
Yeah, I guess they're going to wait.
Little tapper foul. And it's no balls and 2 strikes.
But Acuna, I mean, that's a different animal right there. I mean, the bat speed that he that he gets through the zone.
How about he had 432 in the spring? As we said, he was kind of like Scott Kingery.
Tough league. 432, you can't make the team.
No balls and 2 strikes to Albies. Breaking ball, and it's 1-2. There is Scott Kingery. I think there's an anticipation that he is going to be in the starting lineup tomorrow when the Phillies take on the Braves. At what position? I don't think we know that because he's going to play a lot of them for Gabe Kapler. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Albies here in the bottom of the first inning. Over to the right side. Carlos Santana has it with a clean slide to first. 2 outs.
Good play by Santana. Albies can run. And Aaron Nola was there, but I love it when a first baseman takes it himself. Keep the pitcher out of it. You risk the toss and the catch, even though it should be an easy play. Sometimes we've seen that it ain't so easy. I'm sure he's waiting for Acuna to come up too.
Certainly going to protect him.
Yeah.
Nothing against Nick Markakis or Tyler Flowers. Freddie Freeman, 28 years old. And he takes a fastball in. It's 1 ball and no strikes. They have the drastic overshift on with him. And Chris Young, who is handling the outfielders defense, just told Nick Williams to go back a little bit more and no doubles defense out in right field.
Got the chance to talk to Chris Young the other day. And I said, "You're the air traffic controller." He goes, "Not anymore. They got cards now."
They do have cards. We have seen them in their back pocket. It's a changeup that looks like it was low. 3-0. Nola's bulked up from last year. He says he's weighing about 205 pounds, about 10 pounds more than last season. He just walked Freddie Freeman on 4 pitches. Those last 2 pitches were awfully close. So runner at first, 2 men down. Rick Kranitz next to Gabe Kapler.
How do you think we're ever going to get to 205? We don't bulk up to get there. We have to.
It's a little different story for us. If we could only go up, we could do that easily.
I wish I could go up to 205. 305 I'm closer to.
Markakis 275 last year with 8 home runs. And a first pitch fastball a little high, and it's 1-0. Markakis begins this year with 2,052 hits. He's had himself one steady career for the Braves. Popped him up. Knapp with the mask off. Santana comes down. He makes the call and the catch. No runs, no hits, and 1 man left for the Braves. 1 in the books. On to the second inning. J.P. Crawford will lead it off when we come back. Join T-Mobile and score free MLB.tv all season long. Sign up now through April 2nd at T-Mobile.com/MLB. Here at SunTrust Park, it's our first of 2 visits here in the month of April. A ballpark that opened just a year ago. J.P. Crawford will lead things off. Crawford hitting .214 with no home runs and 6 runs batted in last year. Takes the first pitch in there for strike. It's 0-1. Crawford batting 6th. And there's a broken bat fly ball out towards shallow right center field. Albies is under it. And what away. And that'll bring Michael Franco to the plate.
I think this is a big key to the Phillies.
Absolutely.
Is Michael Franco, and yeah, those numbers right there cannot be repeated.
No.
He has to have a better year.
And the other part of it, too, are the strikeouts that can't be repeated. You know, he's going to strike out, but just not in the RBI situations where he's going after the slider off the outside part of the plate. Now, he did finish strong in spring training, and he has tinkered with his staff. You see the hands are a little different. One ball and 1 strike to Franco. Tapper foul, and it's 1-2.
I think the key for him is his front side. If his front side stays in, he's got a chance. If it opens up and that front hit opens up before the ball's even close to the hitting zone, that's why that slider down and away is a pitch he can't touch.
And by closing himself up a little bit, John, I mean, that gives him, I guess, from a mind standpoint, the framework to maybe go after that outside pitch a little differently?
I hope. We'll see. I was always a firm believer in opposites.
To right center field, speaking of opposites, Ender Inciarte will give way to Nick Markakis for the second out. Well, the best way to enjoy Phil's baseball is with a partial season ticket plan. Plans start as little as 11 games and offer great benefits, such as the comfort of having the same seats in the best location for every game. Visit Phillies.com or call 215-463-5000 to order now. Andrew Knapp getting a chance to play today. Gabe Kapler said before the ball game that he and the staff has had input, have put together the lineups for the next 5 or 6 games, which will take us through the New York series. And he alluded to the fact that Knapp and Alfaro will probably split the 6 games. Now it's not like an NFL team that scripts its first 15 or 20 plays, because sometimes those are pretty rigid. You script those plays, you use those plays. For Gabe, he said, obviously, I have them written down, but they are subject to change.
I don't know if I could think that far ahead.
0-2 is high, 1-2. It is interesting, isn't it?
I'm sure 3 hits a night will convince him to keep you in the lineup.
Well, that's a good point. Riding the hot hand from the night before.
I would think.
2-2.
But I can honestly say, in all my years in baseball, I've never heard of a team that scripts their or has their lineups for the first 6 games already written down, but not etched in stone.
Well, there's a lot that's gone into the thinking, you know, from a numbers standpoint and just an input from the coach's standpoint too. Off speed pitch swung on and off the glove of Flowers. Knapp hustling down to first, and the throw is there in time. So second strikeout for Tehran. Nothing across for the Phils. They go down 1-2-3. We played 1.5. It's the Phils 1, the Braves nothing. broadcasts of the Phils, Flyers, and Sixers. Download the NBC Sports app on all of your devices. Well, here at SunTrust Park, the buildings which were still being manufactured a year ago are complete. In fact, this area looks even different than when we were here at the end of last season. The hotel was opened up. Obviously, the Comcast building was there, but it wasn't operable. It is operable now.
Why don't we stay at that hotel?
I don't know.
Walk right to the ballpark?
It's supposed to be very nice.
I would imagine it is. It's new, isn't it?
Kind of like San Diego. The hotel
That's right.
is attached to the ballpark. We begin the bottom of the second inning. And Tyler Flowers will start it off for the Braves. And Flowers takes out the knees. Aaron Nola said this offseason he tried to get stronger in the areas that he uses to pitch. Lats, triceps, shoulders, his legs, of course, and his back as much as possible. He said in some ways the injury that he sustained, not last season, but the season before, became a blessing in disguise because he could no longer pitch with the body that he had in college. He had to get stronger with a number of facets. And he also had to use his legs even more. And we've told this story before how Ray Burris, who was the coordinator down in Clearwater for the injuries, talked him into using his legs even more. And it certainly helped his fastball. His curveball, I mean, has been major league ready for a long time. That boy had a little problem with that first one, Johnny.
It's opening day for him too.
That's right.
Let's give him a break.
I don't know if he was down in spring training, so he didn't have the same reps.
He probably didn't. I don't think they brought him down to get some reps. He'll pick it up. He'll get the next one.
Outside, 2-2. But Nola, who last year won 12 games, had an ERA of 3.54, which was in the top 20 in all of baseball. He's hoping to improve on that. I mean, there was a stretch of about 10 games.
I think Tyler Flowers is hurt.
Do you think that swing hurt him?
Yeah, they're coming. He just called for the trainer to come out.
Yeah, here they come.
He took a swing a couple swings ago, and it looked like his. And here's the swing here, and you just tell right there. It looks like it's his left wrist or left shoulder or something. Grabbed his side. It could be his what are those things called?
Oblique.
Yep, there they are.
Well, the Braves do have two backup catchers on their roster, Kurt Suzuki and Chris Stewart, and one of those guys is going to have to come into this ball game. So Flowers will leave.
Stinks.
Opening day. Flowers will leave with the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. So we'll see whether it's Chris Stewart or Kurt Suzuki.
Whichever one's there, I would imagine. Imagine one of them's down the bullpen, one's probably up in the clubhouse.
Well, that's a good point. Well, while we have a moment, let the fans know that today's game is also available in Spanish. Just use the SAP button on your television or change the language through the menu on your cable box. Well, while the Braves decide who their new catcher will be, let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph?
All right, thanks a lot, Tom. Well, obviously it's a very special day, opening day, for so many different reasons. Lots of guys making their opening day debuts, some of them making their major league debuts, including, of course, Gabe Kapler making his managerial debut. And right before he went out to exchange lineups and do the ground rules, he had to make his way through about 25 people who were out here on the warning track because he wanted to make way over to his son Chase, who was sitting over here. And right before they shared an embrace and they had a couple of words with one another, and you could just tell it was a very emotional moment for Gabe and for his son Chase as they share this moment together. And just remind you just how special this game can be, one, and how much it means, father and son and baseball on opening day. I'm sure all of us have had moments like that, and Gabe was able to share one with his son today. It was really, really kind of cool to see.
Yeah, it was neat. I met Chase before the ball game today, and obviously Gabe was excited to have him in his office, and also to be part of the pregame. There is Chase, Gabe's son, who is in from California, getting a chance to watch his dad's first game as a major league skipper. He wasn't around when, when Dad made his first game.
Ugly doesn't run that family, does it?
No. No, he's a tall kid, too.
Yeah.
All right, well, Kurt Suzuki, John, is going to be the new catcher.
Here's a bad thing for Tyler Flowers. Suzuki strikes out here, he gets the punch out.
Yeah, so Suzuki inherits the 2-2 count.
The only thing he gets is something good out of this, right?
By the time he gets all settled in, he'll see one pitch maybe, and that's it. And a breaking ball, he floats it in the air over toward first. Santana's there, and he makes the catch. That certainly didn't work out for Kurt Suzuki there. Talking about Aaron Nola and some of his rankings. So he finished with 27 starts and 168 innings. He was on the DL for a few weeks. But the 9.86 strikeouts per 9 innings, the strikeout rate, he was also 10th in ground ball percentage, which shows you the heavy sink on his fastball. And you probably saw that bottom note, the ultra quality starts. You know, everything has a term in baseball these days. Quality starts, some people don't like if they.
Stupid.
Well, see, you're one of those people.
But 4.5 ERA, that's not very good.
All right, so but he had 12 ultra quality starts. Now that's 7 innings, 2 runs or fewer.
That's a quality start.
Yeah.
That's ultra quality.
Yeah, it's ultra quality. And only Kershaw and Scherzer were ahead of him in those categories, in that category.
Who?
That's right. Fly ball out to left field. Rhys Hoskins makes the grab. Now there are 2 outs as Preston Tucker is retired. And here's Dansby Swanson.
He's got to pick up those numbers too. Don't they have a big prospect down the minor leagues at the shortstop?
They do, but that.
Is he a ways away?
So they had Albies and Swanson, and then they have one other one who's even younger. But they moved Albies to second base for Dansby Swanson, who breaks his bat and is retired on 1 pitch. And it's a 1-2-3 second inning. We move on to the third with the Phils on top of the Braves, 1-0. Car, truck, and SUV crossover at buyfordnow.com today. And buy Papa John's the day after every Phillies win. Get 50% off regular menu price pizzas using the promo code Phillies. Well, Johnny, I'm not sure if you would put that much effort into what you're wearing to the ballpark.
No.
I wonder where you would get that.
Probably a wig shop.
Okay.
Isn't that where you'd go get a wig?
Yeah, I didn't know there were wig shops.
Well, sure there are.
Are there?
Maybe we should venture to one day. Take Murph.
What are you saying?
Well, out of the three of us, one of us might need one.
Yeah, Murph does look like he needs one. He's getting grayer and grayer with each passing year with us.
Result. A direct result. Agreed.
That's right.
Now he's helped me out with the Cruckcast
Yeah,
podcast.
He's the executive producer. Murph, I made you an executive
Thank
producer.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Executive producer of the John Kruk podcast.
It's a very exciting time.
Yeah, we're all excited. 0-1 pitch to Aaron Nola, and it's low. 1 ball, 1 strike. What you guys doing today?
We did.
What was the topic today?
Just opening day experiences, since it's opening day.
With Kevin Stocker in the radio booth, did it bring back memories of opening day?
No.
For you?
No, not with Stock.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't there opening day.
That's right. He wasn't there opening day. Well, it's nice that he's here now.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's nice that he survived us.
Nola takes inside, 3-1.
There's a few guys in those years I was worried about. He was one. Mickey.
Well,
Izzy.
we've seen both of them in the last month or so,
Yeah.
so we know those two survived.
I seen Izzy in January, so he's still doing all right.
And there's ball 4.
There we
Aaron
go.
Nola working out a walk. Yeah, that's the first walk issued by Tehran on a couple of really close pitches.
Quality at bat. So let's get into this quality at bat thing. One of the girls on my softball team, I looked in the thing, they had her for 4 quality at bats and she struck out 3 times. But all 3 were on 3-2 counts.
Wait, you're the skipper of this team. You decide what statistics are being used.
I don't know who does it. They just said she had 4 quality at bats and struck out 3 times. Now, how in the heck are those quality?
Cesar Hernandez takes outside, and it's 1-0.
Those 3 quality at bats got her sitting down the next game.
She's going to come to you one day with those quality ABs.
Yeah.
Cesar singled his first time up. 1 ball and 1 strike, 89.
I don't ever recall Jerry Lane being this deliberate with the call.
He is a little slower this year. He may have worked on some things in the offseason.
Like the rest of us, we're getting a little older.
Jerry Lane's at first base. Greg Gibson, or at home plate, Greg Gibson's at first. And a 4-6-3 double play for the Braves. 2 outs here in the 3rd. It's only appropriate that Vic Carapaz's at second base since he did every spring training game that we saw.
Should have a good feel for him in this.
Jordan Baker's over at 3rd. There's Greg Gibson.
Taking in, look at him, just taking in opening day. Crowd settling in. Not a capacity crowd here today.
Now there are some open seats.
Daytime, and what is today? Day.
Today's Thursday.
It is. I lose track when I drive.
You did drive.
Oh, I feel like I was going backwards.
This is a beautiful ballpark in its 2nd year. 0-1 pitch to Santana, and it's outside, 1-1. Carlos reached on a fielder's choice his first time up. Way out in front. Tehran this past spring was sitting at between 92, 93 miles an hour with his fastball, which Brian Snitker and Chuck Hernandez were happy about because his velocity was up. Last year it was down, although today it's not averaging that same number as Albies picks that one and throws out Santana. 4-3 on the putout. Phils go down quietly in their half of the 3rd. No runs, no hits, and nobody left. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd. Phillies.com. Go to the fan section for all the information, and please submit your answer on the subject line. Johnny, the question is, who were the starting pitchers the last time the Phillies opened the season in Atlanta in 2013?
2013.
Yep.
That's 5 years ago.
Yep.
I'm going to write down one.
Okay. You did get number one. So now you got to venture into the Braves world. And a bunt up the third base line by Ryan Flaherty, and it's going to be a base hit. Well, the Phillies had the shift on against the guy that was with them the entire spring. And he bunts up the line.
Well, the shift, look how Franco was playing shallow shortstop, and I mean, how perfect a bunt is that? Franco did what he was supposed to. He hoped it would go foul. It didn't, and the Braves got a guy on with the, you would think, a bunt situation. But
yeah, one of the better bunters among pitchers in the league. In fact, he led the league with 14 sacrifice bunts 3 years ago. He had 12 last season. Take it down to Ron Washington. Breaking ball. Good pitch. 0-2.
Hey, usually when you talk to pitchers, they'll say that, or guys who can bunt, they'll say the breaking ball's easiest to bunt, but when that thing starts almost behind you and breaks over the inside part, that's tough to hang in there and try to lay one down.
He bunts at it, and he's down on strike. So strikeout number one for Aaron Nola, and it comes here in the third, and it's a booze going through SunTrust Park. Opening day records: the Phillies 60 opening day wins, the Braves 69. And head-to-head, this is the 28th time these two teams have faced off. First time since 2013.
2013, and this is 2018. So 5 years ago.
Yep.
Who did they have in their rotation?
Outside, 1 ball and no strikes.
I hate when you ask me these questions. Now that's all I can think of.
Well, you
I
got
can't
one
have,
of them.
I can't have two thoughts in one. I can't think of the game and then think of this too.
You got the Phillies starter. So now you just are working the other one. We have some time.
That's the problem.
No. Inciarte, first time up, grounded out to second. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Inciarte last year was tops in the National League in at-bats with 662. He doesn't walk that much, but he still had an on-base percentage of .350. As Flaherty draws another throw.
He hit .308 last year, and his on base was .350.
Hit .304, and his on base was .350. Good pitch. 77-mile-an-hour curveball, and it's 1-2.
That's the thing I like too about Aaron Nola with this curveball is he changes speeds with it. He'll throw a slower one like that, and he'll throw a harder one like he did to Tehran.
And looking at Inciarte out front, 159 swings and misses with the curveball last year. It's 4th best in baseball.
Kershaw first.
Kershaw was in the top. He was the top one, and so was Lance McCullers.
Well, Lance throws a bunch of them.
Threw him in the postseason. Certainly threw. Was it 21 in a row that he threw?
Something like that. Good breaking ball down. You get him to chase, and now you're getting him to swing up in the zone. He's really expanded. Bet he could, might be able to freeze him with a two-seamer in.
Breaking ball swung on and missed. Back-to-back strikeouts for Nola, and 2 outs here in the third.
Another really good breaking ball after getting him to look up with the fastball. Now he comes down with the breaking ball. Like Enciardi had some trouble holding on to the bat. What's going on down there?
I don't know.
Opening day, Pine Tar's not ready? What?
Left the Pine Tar in Orlando. Here's Albies. Albies bounced one over to Santana at first. And that floats inside. 1 ball and no strikes.
You wouldn't mind seeing Freddie Freeman lead off the next inning.
I would agree with that one.
I want him to hit in this one.
There's Freddie, who walked on 4 pitches in his first at bat. Changeup, 1 ball, 1 strike. The changeup was the pitch that Aaron Nola solidified last season. He had 67 swings and misses on that changeup. And you combine that with the amount of swings and misses with his curveball. That's a pretty good 1-2 punch to back up that fastball of his. 1 and 2. And that's what you were talking about, John, about the changing speeds. I mean, that's only a difference of 2 miles an hour to the first curve he threw in this at bat.
Yeah, and this one was, I don't know, looked like Ozzie Albies was asking Jerry Lane, where was it? You know, pretty good pitch to hit.
Got him.
Not that one.
He struck out the last 3 hitters. So the Braves, who got the leadoff bunt single by Flaherty, leave a runner over at first. We are 3 innings through opening day. It's the Phillies 1 and the Braves nothing. Well, the struggle is real. Don't let your Riemann toner be the 1 in 3 that epically fails. Order genuine HP toner cartridges from WB Mason. We'll deliver it straight to your printer for free. Nobody does it better than who but WB Mason. Here's Nick Williams to start things off. Top of the 4th inning. Williams is one of 14 players on this year's opening day roster that were not on the team last year for the Phils. He flares one toward left, and Tucker puts it away. Well, today's Coors Light refreshing finish provided by Rhys Hoskins in his first at-bats.
Yeah, the key to having a good season is getting off to a good start, and that's a great start for Hoskins. Double down the line, drives in his new teammate in Carlos Santana to give the Phillies that 1-0 lead.
First pitch from Tehran here, 89-mile-an-hour fastball.
I know Nick swung at the first pitch, Joe, didn't he? Or he's probably taken the whole way. So, man, I mean, that's something. He could unload it on that one. That's what you used to hate. A guy swung at the first pitch, and you know you have to take, and it's 89 right down the middle.
0-2 to Hoskins. Pop that one up, back toward us. And out of play. And it remains 0-2. We didn't do a whole lot of games here last year, but we didn't see many baseballs come up this far. Tracy, our camera operator behind home plate, he was starting to shift over to the left a little bit to make that catch. In the dirt, one ball and 2 strikes. There's Tracy in the gray sweatshirt. Why don't you wave, Tracy, so everybody knows who you are. There you go. He looked like an aeronautical engineer there.
Or Chris Young.
Oh, Chris Young.
Directing the outfielders.
Fly ball left field. Tucker again. Swanson is out as well. Swanson says he has it, and he makes the catch. 2 outs. Hey, Saturday, April 7th, when the Phillies take on the Miami Marlins. It's a 6:05 first pitch. It's also McDonald's opening night Be Bold t-shirt. A Be Bold t-shirt given out to fans 15 and older. Go to Phillies.com to get your tickets.
I wonder if Tucker saw that ball. Because Dansby Swanson went a long way to catch that, and it didn't look like Tucker was running that hard because he probably couldn't see it. So that's something to keep in mind if you hit a fly ball to left field.
Well, and the way the wind is blowing, I would think if you're an infielder, you would want the outfielder to call you off at some point. In the dirt, 1 ball and 1 strike. Two and 1. Three balls and 1 strike to Altair.
Well, this is a good thing after first pitch out, and Rhys had 3 or 4 pitches to look at. But give Aaron Nola a little more of a rest in that dugout, and hopefully get a good pitch here from Aaron.
Bouncing ball foul. The Braves, like everybody else around baseball, have extended the netting here in their major league facility as J.P. Crawford is on deck. So we'll see that everywhere we go. Saw it in spring training. Three balls and 2 strikes to Aaron Altair. That one fouled over the netting on the first base side and toward the second deck. I think one other thing that we got from Gabe today, and we kind of heard this in spring training, although I think you have to wait till the regular season to really see it, is that the lineup you see today, even where certain guys are batting, we may show up tomorrow and those guys could be in totally different spots but still be in the lineup. A foul tip as Altair stays alive.
Well, you know, I think guys like Aaron, Nick Williams, guys who can hit in different spots, run. You know, they have speed. Odubel can hit anywhere in the lineup, really, with his abilities.
And a line drive toward left center field. That'll be in for a base hit. Inciarte was playing deep, so they'll hold Altair at first base. Well, that was a good swing. And for the Phillies, it is the third hit of the afternoon. A 2-out single here in the fourth. That was the 8th pitch of that at bat for Aaron Altair.
And that's a good sign for Aaron. It's just to see pitches, work long at bats, you know, prove to yourself at this early in the season, like Rhys Hoskins did last year, is 2 strikes, don't panic. And he fouled a couple pitches off. He got one he liked, lined it into left center for a base hit. And, hey, why not steal?
You have Suzuki behind the plate as J.P. Crawford sends one to the air to left center field. And Tucker makes the catch. Phillies get a base runner, leave one. We'll head to the bottom of the fourth. Last of the fourth inning, Freddie Freeman will lead things off for the Braves. The Braves have one hit. It was a bunt single by Ryan Flaherty in the first pitch on the outside corner. All right, so already something different in this at-bat to Freddie Freeman. A strike.
A strike. Good start. Now let's see if he goes back to that breaking ball he had so much success with last inning.
Little tapper. Went back to a fastball. Fastball runs up 1-2. Freddie Freeman had an on-base percentage last year of .403.
That'll work.
I mean, that's 30 points higher than his career on-base percentage.
I think a lot of that is a young team.
Pitching around
him because he's the guy in the middle of that lineup that can hurt you. Hey, look, Nick Marquez, you mentioned over 2,000 hits. That's unbelievable to get to that level, and he's still going. But if you have a choice, who's going to beat you, Freddie or Nick, you're going to pick Nick.
Right, 8 home runs as the cleanup hitter.
Yeah. And not that Nick hit behind him the whole year, but there's not a lot of power in this lineup besides Freddie.
Down the right field line, out of play. That's why when Acuna comes up, I mean, he's got a chance to hit for power and average.
I think if I had any say so when he came up, I'd stick him hitting fourth behind Freddie, or hit Freddie second, hit him third, and just say, go at it, boys.
Bouncing ball right side. J.P. Crawford is going to cut off Cesar Hernandez and make the play. So 6-3 on the putout. J.P. Crawford is one of the 14 players that is on this year's opening day roster for the Phillies that Murph was not on the opening day roster last year. Now, there's some free agents like Carlos Santana that weren't here last year, but we're talking about the young Phillies players that weren't part of this.
Yeah, think about that, Tom. 14 players out of the 25 not on the original 25-man roster just 1 year ago. I mean, that is a big percentage of your opening day roster this year as this team continues to turn things over and reinvent itself and get younger as well. As you mentioned, 10 of those guys are making their first opening day roster, and of course that puts the Phils right in the thick of things in terms of youth in baseball. In fact, at 26 years and 9 months, the average age for the roster for the Phils, they are the youngest team in baseball as we get 2018 started. And as you can see, a lot of those guys are homegrown guys. 8 guys coming through the system that are on the 25-man roster now. So it's very important. And there's a lot of talk obviously about the Atlanta Braves also being a young team, and they've got a couple of guys at the AAA level that are poised to make the roster probably pretty soon. It'll make their average age slide down into probably the top 10. But right now, Phil's the youngest team in baseball with all of these new faces and so many of them making their first opening day roster.
Well, I think around baseball there are teams that are kind of like the Phillies, kind of like the Braves, that have revamped over the last several years.
Yeah, I mean, I think the positive vibes with the Phillies stretches beyond just what we think and what the fans of the Phillies think in this organization. You wouldn't believe the amount of text messages I got from coaches, managers, players on other teams saying this is going to be a different year for the Phillies. He said they're going to be better than what everyone thinks.
Well, I remember too last year when the Phillies played the Los Angeles Dodgers, and Gabe alluded to this in some of his interviews this offseason, that Dave Roberts and his entire staff were talking about how great the Phillies, he felt, were set up for the next several years. And Gabe, after talking to some of those Dodgers coaches and players, he came away with the same conversation. So let's hope. Ben Lively, Tommy Hunter. Tommy dropped his water bottle. Ben picked it up for him.
Well,
people helping people, John.
You know how it is, yeah. We're just doing.
Line drive caught by Santana at first, 2 outs.
We just try to help others. Bridge builders. That's what we are.
We are bridge builders. Well, 2 outs now, and here is Kurt Suzuki, who popped out his first time up when he came on for the injured Tyler Flowers, who we heard left with a left oblique strain.
That's a tough way to start the year.
It sure is. Going through all spring training, getting a chance to start on opening day.
First at bat.
Suzuki lines one into left field, a base hit. All right, so second hit, third base runner for the Braves.
That's something we saw a lot with Kurt Suzuki last year. Fastball's in, he can pull anyone's fastball. Struggled though with the breaking ball. At a first pitch fastball with 2 outs. Single to left. Let's hope it's a harmless single to left.
Preston Tucker swings at the first pitch and he glides it out towards center. Aaron Altair with a hop and a grab. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. We have played 4 on opening day. We'll go to the 5th. Mikel Franco will lead it off. older, please play responsibly. And by Nissan, shopchoosenissan.com. Well, that is not really Chipper Jones, but the real Chipper Jones is here today. In fact, he threw out the ceremonial first pitch as he gets ready to be inducted into Major League Baseball's Hall of Fame this summer.
One of the greatest switch hitters ever.
It'd be amazing to think if anybody could ever duplicate what he was able to do from both sides of the plate. As Franco hits it foul off the tarp. So 1-1. Here is Chipper before the game talking to Walt Weiss, the bench coach for the Braves. Chipper threw his hat in the ring this past offseason if the Braves were thinking about making a managerial change. He said he would think about it. There's a fly ball to left off the end of the bat of Maikel Franco. I think you might be right about Tucker. I'm not sure if he's seeing the baseball that well off the bat. Here is the 2018 Hall of Fame class. I was happy to see that Alan Trammell and Jack Morris got in. And of course, Jim Thome, who we will honor later on this year at Citizens Bank Park, will go in along with Trevor Hoffman and Vladimir Guerrero.
Yeah, it's hard to say that none of those guys deserve it, because they all do. Chipper, unbelievable career. Trevor Hoffman with 8,000 saves, just 1,000 behind Mariano, and Vlad, you know, he was one of the guys that no matter what I was doing, I wanted to watch him hit, because he might hit one off the ground for a double in the gap, or he might swing at one 6 inches over his head and hit a screaming line drive in the seats. He was just an incredible player.
I saw him one time in the minor leagues in right field throw a ball from the corner, the right field corner, in the air. Now, it had obviously a little hump in it, but in the air to third base. He just had an amazing arm.
Yeah.
Did you see his son the other day win the ball game for the Blue Jays up in Montreal?
No, but I've talked to some people about him. They say he might be better than Vlad.
Well, they put I can't remember what network put the side shot. It may have been MLB Network, but they put that swing by Vladimir Jr. up against a swing from Vladimir Sr. in an Expos uniform. And by golly, it looked exactly the same.
Hey, if it worked for your dad, it should work for you. Vlad would be like one of this new sabermetric. He would be like a tough to decipher, I would imagine.
Well, they had him wear number 27, which was his dad's number. As Knapp draws a walk. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live at home, in the office, or on the go with MLB.tv. Your subscription includes MLB At Bat Premium, allowing you to watch live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Nola walked his first time up, and a swing and a miss.
Oh, not button, huh? It's interesting that they didn't bunt there. Maybe they were trying for a little sneak attack on Tehran, but I imagine he's bunting now.
Well, Flaherty comes creeping in, and a throw over. Knapp is back. Aaron Nola is one of the top bunters the Phillies have as far as pitchers go, but also among position players too. Dusty Wathan laying down some signs over in the third base coach's box. And he takes a strike. 0-2. You gonna keep it on here?
Yeah, I think I would. If he's one of your best bunters, you got to think that with 2 strikes, you still should have a good chance of getting it down. Getting Knapp to second. Maybe that wild pitch would have got him there.
Bouncer back to the mound. Tehran to second for one. Swanson over to first. Second double play ball. And that'll wrap up the 5th inning. 1-6-3. No runs, no hits, nobody left. We'll move on to the bottom of the 5th in a 1-0 game. Authentic fan experience next Friday versus LeBron and the Cavs. Winners get to go courtside for pregame warm-ups, get a tour of our studios and more. Log on now for your chance to win. And around town today is the Authentic Fan Bus. The Phillies Authentic Fan Bus. There's Mickey Morandini getting a chance to take some pictures. And also the rally towels given out by the Phillies ball girls. Mickey taking some more photos. Look at that youngster thinking, who are you? Mickey is one of the club ambassadors this year. Boy, he's done such a great job with that. We were with him in spring training on a handful of different occasions. I know he was at fantasy camp as well, but he has done such a great job with that. And you can go to go to NBCSportsPhilly.com. You can find out more about the Authentic Fan and the Fan Bus, where it's going to be going next week in preparation for opening day at Citizens Bank Park. As Dansby Swanson will lead things off here in the home 5th. Swanson flying out to center field his first time up. Well, so far so good for Aaron Nola. 52 pitches through the first 4 innings of today's game. He has thrown a lot of strikes. A lot of those breaking balls for strikes. Not as many changeups as we'll see against certain lineups.
So we're getting that fan bus thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder if they'll let me drive it.
Well, I think you need a specific license for that. They might let you sit in the chair.
I've driven tractors before. I didn't need a license for those.
Maybe around the parking lot.
Yeah.
Mentioned we'll see that fan bus next week. And it'll be moving around the city. You get a chance to hop on from time to time. 1-2. There's Ryan Flaherty on deck. Ground ball shortstop, J.P. Crawford. And he throws out Swanson. There's one away. Well, the freeze is back, and there are the Phillies relief pitchers who are leaning over the fence watching him go. He hasn't started yet. That's a fan who gets a certain amount of lead time before the freeze takes off. And the freeze caught him quickly, and then I think the fan may have blown blown a tire.
Yeah, he was struggling coming down the stretch.
Oh, he sure was. Look at the freeze. The freeze just glided home. This wasn't a record-breaking run for him. That's a promotion that they introduced last year, and when they have somebody that's quick, that he has to really track down, I mean, it is funny.
He has lost a couple,
He has.
though.
Yes, he has. Bouncing ball right side. Cesar Hernandez throws out Flaherty. But he does a nice job of promoting the race.
Yes.
And Blooper, the new mascot for the Braves, congratulated him afterwards.
Now,
there's Blooper.
Yeah, Blooper. Like, all right. I mean,
yes,
I'm
like
not,
if we said something wrong, it would be a blooper.
Yeah, which is probably going to happen this year. But with the guy that races the freeze,
yeah,
like
it's a random selection through the crowd.
Exactly, but he could randomly have had a few alcoholic beverages before he ran, and that could make a mess out there.
It certainly could.
I think that's what we need to track more than the one-loss record of the freeze.
I think we were all surprised when he lost for the first time last year because he was moving.
Can we rig that so Murph has to run him?
Murph, how are the hammies feeling?
They hurt just thinking about it.
Yeah.
Honestly. Good chat, Murph.
We could get you to do it, though. I mean,
no, that's okay.
So if you started at the Hyundai sign in your center field, do you think you could beat him?
Am I in the fan bus?
Yeah, John's driving it.
Then I can think I can beat him.
Oh. Tehran has one up and in. And it's 3 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, there's no intent there.
I don't know if it was really as close as he thought it was. He almost swung. Well, I guess it was riding pretty good. It wasn't up toward his coconut. I think that's just a guy that is kind of inexperienced in the box. Shows bunt, takes a strike. It's 3-2. John, he just discarded the hitter's count and decided to show bunt.
Yeah. Well, you know, working the count, quality at bat.
Bouncing ball foul. I think there's a pretty good chance if he throws him a curveball in the strike zone, he may spin himself to the ground.
Yeah, but what, do you dare throw a 3-2 breaking ball
well,
to the
that's
pitcher?
true.
Of course, Aaron's had a pretty good command with that pitch. A lot of his strikeouts have come on that breaking ball, so we'll see.
Back toward the box, flag down by Nola, and it's a 1-2-3 5th inning. Aaron Nola's allowed 2 hits so far through 5 innings of work. One was a bunt, the other a line drive to left. We move on to the 6th inning. Rookie in any calendar month. and his production delivered 40 RBIs in 40 games, the first time since Albert Pujols did so in 2001. Rhys rolls into his first full season with the Phils, and it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Well, so far it's Rhys Hoskins' double the opposite way that has given the Phillies a 1-0 lead. That and also some really good pitching by Aaron Nola, who through 5 innings has allowed 2 hits and has minimized his pitch count. No Brave has reached second base so far in this ballgame. I think if you envisioned an opening day start, I know we're only through 5, but if you're Aaron Nola, that's what you're looking for.
Well, absolutely. And then the good thing is it seems like all his pitchers are working. Not only the fastball locating on both sides, but his breaking ball's been absolutely phenomenal. And, you know, ho-hum, a first at bat of the season, RBI double for Rhys Hoskins. And, you know, here we go.
Well, to the top of the 6th inning against Julio Teheran, who also has been pretty good today. He's only allowed the 3 hits. Phillies so far have left 2. Cesar singled his first time up, hit into a double play his second time up. So he's 1 for 2. Little tapper foul, 1 ball, 1 strike. Outside, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. There's a good off-speed pitch by Teheran. Last year was a lot of fastball and then changeup. This year, he has worked this offseason in trying to get his slider back to the way it was when he won 14 games in 2 different seasons for the Braves. Try to back it up for the second one. It's 3-2. Oh, jeez.
Well, glove toss.
Very good glove toss. Wasn't the best toss back to him.
Probably gonna have to throw that ball out because it hit the grass. That's amazing.
Here's the pitch. Here's the toss of both the ball and the glove. Fly ball right field. Markakis going back toward the track to the wall. It is gone. A home run for Cesar Hernandez. He had 9 last year. That's his first this season. The Phillies on top 2-0. Well, there you go. As far as the wind goes, that one up into the wind, and it just took off.
Threw him a changeup to get to 2 strikes, and then he threw him another changeup that Cesar laid off of 3-2. Leadoff hitter of the inning. What do you think he's going to get? A hanger. Ball stayed out over the center of the plate, and that's a really good start right there. The start of the season for Cesar. Single. Now the home run.
So 2-0 Phils. They have 4 hits now. 2 extra base hits, and here's Santana. The count 2 balls and no strikes to Santana.
Well, we talked to the Braves announcers today, and they said the thing about Teheran was he really limited the amount of home runs that he gave up. Only 2 in spring training.
Both against the Yankees.
Well, they're going to hit a few, I think.
Yeah, Giancarlo already hit one today.
He's on a pace for 162 then. So is Cesar. But you know, and that was the thing. Did he keep the ball in the ballpark? And Cesar said, "I'll handle this."
Yeah, his spring starts, he had 5 of them. He had an ERA of 0.87, 16 hits in 20 2/3. That one's out towards center field. Inciarte is venturing back. It'll stay in the yard, but travel to the track. And 1 out. Bring the family to Cavity Busters Kids Opening Day on Sunday, April 8th, when the Phils take on the Miami Marlins. It's a 1:35 first pitch. A Cavity Busters hooded sweatshirt will be given out to kids 14 and under. Visit Phillies.com to get your tickets. Williams, foul tip, and it's 0-1. Williams is 0 for 2. He is struck out and flied out to left field. Oh, and 2. In the dirt, 1 and 2. Nick's going with a little different look, John, with his spikes this year, at least to start the season.
Yeah, he got a little blue on the toes, doesn't he?
Mixing in a little blue.
I don't think I could pull that off. I think I'd be more like Reese.
Swing and a miss.
Red with the white logo.
We saw this offseason at some of the functions that Nick does have a little flair when it comes to his attire. Just as Rhys Hoskins had a flair in his first at bat, a double down the right field line. Murph, did you get a chance to talk to Rhys Hoskins about his first opening day?
I did indeed. And, you know, he got the season started off right, as you mentioned, with that double down the line and an RBI. And, you know, we forget, well, many of us forget that Rhys Hoskins wasn't a part of opening day a year ago after all the success that he had in the second part of the season. But, yeah, he is out there for the very first time making his first opening day roster. I talked to him about it a few days ago. I said, have you given him a chance to think about what that moment is going to be like? And he just got that great big smile on his face. And he said, you know, obviously it's the fulfillment of a lifelong dream, and as it is for all of these guys, to get out there, be announced on opening day, be a part of an opening day roster. And he said, but you know what? To him, it's just the culmination of a lot of hard work and the beginning of something very special. That's what he wanted to point out. He said he couldn't wait to share it with so many of the guys that he had been in the minor leagues with, so many of the guys getting a chance to be a part of this today. And, you know, a very special moment for all of them, and certainly for Rhys Hoskins.
Yeah, he was walking in the clubhouse today with Scott Kingery, and both had smiles from ear to ear. You know, for Kingery, it's the first time seeing a major league clubhouse with a Phillies uniform on. Hoskins was, I guess you could say, somewhat of the seasoned vet when it came to showing him around.
Yeah, all of 3 months.
All of 3 months. Swing and a miss.
Kingery can drop the, you know, I hope he made Kingery pay for the cab. Kingery's make more money.
That is true at this point. He is.
Tell you what, though, that kid's going to be special. I got a chance to see his dad today in the hotel lobby. Talked to him, and he was just over the moon excited about the fact that his son's in the big leagues.
Reese is hit by a pitch, nicked on the leg, so he's aboard with 2 outs. And that'll bring Aaron Altair up.
Well, you know, Tehran throws with a lot of movement on his pitches. It looked like he just skimmed his shirt.
Yeah, it was a shirt. I thought it was his leg. It was his shirt. All right, Chuck Hernandez is out. This will be the first mound visit of the day. The new rule is that mound visits without a pitching change will be limited to 6 per team per 9 innings unless an exception applies.
What's the exception?
It
didn't mean to?
It's an exception that the umpire has to deem an exception.
All right, we'll live with that one. So, well, the umpire, you know what? I'm feeling pretty nice today. I'll give you a 7th.
Left-hander Rex Brothers is warming up in the bullpen for the Braves. So 2 outs, runner at first. Altair singled his last time up, 1 for 2. Pitch just below the knees, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Another one just below the knees. Those are 2 close pitches.
Yeah, I don't think Tehran's happy with him. He's looking in the dugout.
Veteran Jerry Lane behind home plate.
Came up through the minor leagues with Jerry.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. He might have got me once.
That one's on the outside corner, 2-1.
Jerry Lane, Jim Joyce.
Jim Joyce now retired.
Mike Winters. I think who else was there?
There goes the runner. Pitch is taken low. Throw to second base is off the mark. And a stolen base for Rhys Hoskins. He had only 2 last year in a short period of time.
Complete player. Just a complete player. He's halfway to his stolen base mark of all last year. But you know what? You don't pay attention to him. He had a big lead. Tehran's not paying attention. It's a, come set, 1, 2, go.
Well, now you got a chance with a base hit because the outfielders are fairly deep. A base hit, and Hoskins can score the 3rd run of the game for the Phils. Ball 4. So hit batter and a walk, and J.P. Crawford is due up. Well, today in baseball history presented by Geico. Well, on today, March 29, 2018, it is the earliest opening day in Phil's history. The team has played 4 previous opening days in March, all occurring on the 31st, and the last one being in Texas in 2014. Season starting a little earlier this year. There's a few more off days for Major League Baseball. Well, that's it for Tehran. Brian Snitker is coming out. They're going to bring in the lefty Rex brothers to face the lefty J.P. Crawford. A pitching change with the Phils on top, 2-0 here in the 6th. Phillies Frank's Dollar Dog Night of the season. Go to Phillies.com to purchase your tickets. Pat on the shoulder from Brian Snitker. It's not obviously the kind of day that Julio Tehran wanted. He's only allowed 2 runs, responsible for the 2 base runners, and he's only allowed 4 hits.
Yeah, I think he should be pretty happy about that. But we found this out a lot last year. If you don't score, you can't win.
Nope, that is true.
Really difficult.
Well, so now Rex Brothers, the veteran, 30 years old. And he's on to face J.P. Crawford with runners on first and second.
When's the dollar dog?
April 10th. That's the first one.
Is that against the Marlins?
No, against the Reds.
I'm not there.
No. can always get you some dogs, though.
Yeah, well, without question.
They drop from the sky, as we found out.
Yes, they do. Only in Clearwater, though, apparently.
Altair at first base, Hoskins at second. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. 96 on that heater from Rex Brothers.
Yeah, watching him warm up, it looked like he had some really good velocity.
Lefties last year hit 216 against him. He at one point was closing for the Rockies back in 2013. He had 19 saves. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Odubel, bat in hand, just in case he's needed.
Yep. Ready to go if they need him. Love the hair.
Well, that was a good pitch to hit for lefty on lefty. It was 95, but it was on the inner half of the plate.
Yeah, anything middle end, lefty to lefty's the hitter to the hitter's advantage. See where Suzuki wanted it down and away, and it got center of the plate. It's one of those that if this at bat doesn't end well for JP, you look at it and say, man, that's the one. Reese is a little frisky out there at second.
You said a complete player.
He is the complete guy. I mean, you know, can play multiple positions, hit for power, hit for anywhere in the lineup, steal bases. He leads our team in stolen bases.
Yes, he does. If the season ended today.
Tied with the lead in RBIs, tied in the lead with extra base hits, and tied and leading in stolen bases.
Well, it's exactly how you drew it up.
Yeah.
He'll be off and running on this pitch. 3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 men down.
Tied for first non-base percentage.
Inside, ball 4, and that'll load the bases up for Maikel Franco. One of the big differences between the Phillies and the Braves that folks talk about is probably their bullpen. I mean, their bullpen, although they've got 2 really big arms at the back end in Vizcaino and Ramirez. You know, beyond that, there are some questions about the Braves bullpen going into the season.
And we all know how the game is played now. If you don't have a strong bullpen, you're in trouble.
Maikel takes low. It's 1-0. Speaking of the Phillies bullpen, Gabe Kapler was asked today. He said, will you go to Hector Neris if it's a save situation? He goes, all I'll tell you is that if the game's on the line, it doesn't matter when it is, I'm going to go to our dudes. Meaning an assortment of Luis Garcia, Hector Neris.
Let me tell you something. A lot of managers can't pull off dudes.
He can pull it
Gabe
off.
can pull it off.
Yes, he can. 2-0 now to Franco.
Aaron Boone in New York can pull it off.
Popped up foul. And it's 2-1. That was a decent pitch to go after 2-0. Hoskins on third, Altair at second base, J.P. Crawford at first. Well, he's not free swinging. That's a good thing.
No, that's a good take. 3-2-1. Got a good pitch to swing 2-0. He took a really aggressive hack at it, which you like to see. And a pitch down, he laid off. Now he's going to get a fastball, hopefully middle in, and he can get to it.
And ball 4, that'll force in a run. The Phillies are on top 3-0. Back-to-back walks by Rex Brothers.
Now Reese is tied for the team lead in runs scored.
He's moving up every category.
I tell you what, he's a machine.
That's 3 consecutive walks. And the run charged to Tehran.
Yeah, Tehran threw some pretty good pitches though to Altair that borderline, but these other two, you know, brothers, not good.
By the way, that was the second mound visit. Here's the third. Brian Snitker's coming out. Yeah, they're going to make a pitching change.
So does that start the count all over?
Yeah, well, no, it doesn't. It's 6 per game, but pitching changes won't count toward it. Yeah, like this one. So 4-0 Phil's on top, bases loaded, and a new pitcher coming in. A voucher to join us from Ashburn Alley. The options include Chickies and Pete's crab fries, Tony Luke's, or a Hatfield hot dog and Coke. Good for any home games in April and September, except opening day. Order as many times as you like. Go to Phillies.com/studentsteal or show your student ID at any Citizens Bank Park ticket window on game days. Dan Winkler will take over for the Braves. His numbers last year, a 2.51 earned run average, and he will face Andrew Knapp, and Knapp takes way inside. It's 1-0. Phillies still have the bases loaded. There's a fastball in there. It's 1 ball, 1 strike.
A mock cheer from the Braves faithful.
The impatient Braves fans.
Man, they don't ever talk about Phillies fans. Tehran walked the guy and they booed him. Guy's pitching his.
And a line drive to right center field for Knapp. That's going to be in for a base hit. 1 run is in. Here comes Crawford. He'll score. And the Phillies are now on top 5-0. A 2-run single for Andrew Knapp. And the walk set that up, no doubt about it. But it'll be first and third with 2 men down. All of this happening with 2 men down.
Well, we know walks will kill you. After the first pitch inside, and he lets a strike go by, 1-1 count, and Andrew Knapp gets a pitch out over the plate, hits it into right center, 2-run score. Give the Phil that 4-run lead.
Tehran, his line is complete, and he is frustrated. He allows 4 earned runs. The other run is charged to the line of Rex Brothers, and now Aaron Nola will take a peek down to the third base coach's box. Two. Nola is the 9th man to bat in this inning for the Phillies.
It's opening day for everyone.
What did you do, John, to your monitor?
There's stuff on the top of it that I couldn't see outs, you know, the score and all that stuff. So I just thought, well, if there's an X up there. If I hit the X, that should take it off. Turned off the whole thing.
Well, we will get that straight after Nola goes down looking on strikes. It all began with Cesar Hernandez, his leadoff home run against Julio Teheran. That was the second run of the game, but then one walk after another and a base hit by Andrew Knapp, and the Phils are on top 5-0. By Jefferson Health, call 800-JEFF now or visit jeffersonhealth.org. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Hello, John Kruk and Greg Murphy. I'm Tom McCarthy. Nice to be with you on opening day. Phillies are on top 5-0. The sun has popped out and has been out over the last several innings. You saw Rhys Hoskins adjusting his sunglasses. He's had a nice day. An RBI double as well as a run scored, a stolen base. Cesar Hernandez has blasted the first home run of the year for the Phils. Michael Franco worked out a bases loaded walk. I mean, let's face it, he was selective. And then Andrew Knapp with that 2-run single.
Yeah, everything going according to plan for the Phillies.
Well, let's see as Aaron Nola goes back to work here. He sat for a little while and his pitch count is only at 65 through 5. Little tapper, foul.
Hey, notice the ball in front of home plate right there that Inciarte hit, but also the one Santana hit in the first inning that Flowers came up. You see how much darker that is than the rest of the field. They wet that down. I guess they think that the Phillies hit a lot of grounders and they have a lot of speed. Fooled them.
Out to left center field. Altair trying to track this one down. It's over his head and a one hop off the wall. Inciarte pulls into second base with a leadoff double. Well, he had 27 doubles last year. Yeah, there's his first. Only the third hit allowed by Aaron Nola.
That ball took off on Aaron. I don't think Aaron thought that ball was hit as well as it was, but Inciarte, that pitch is up and away. Put a nice little charge into it. Short hop the fence, and yeah, I think that ball fooled Aaron. I didn't think it was going to carry. He didn't think it was going to carry as far as it did. But you mentioned the wind's blowing out. Got some bullpen action going. Looks like Adam Morgan, huh?
Adam was up and stretching before.
Might be Kobe Milner.
Fly ball right center field. Nick Williams is there, makes the catch. Inciarte draws the throw. And one away. And Freddie Freeman coming up. Nice to face Freddie Freeman with a 5-run lead, isn't it?
Well, maybe, maybe not.
Now here comes Gabe Kapler, and they signal to the pen. That's going to be it for Aaron Nola. 68 pitches here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Well, here comes Hobie Milner with the Phillies on top 5-0. Hits. He got some ground balls. He got some strikeouts as well. He's right around the strike zone the whole day.
Yeah, he was. A very, very good performance for the first outing of the year by Aaron Nola. And like you said, a lot of ground balls, but strikeouts with that breaking ball. Elevated when he needed to with the fastball, just to get him to look up there, and then went right back low with that breaking ball, and then he can do it all. Field his position. It was the last out of the 5th inning for him. And
At 68 pitches, he obviously could have gone deeper than that, but they go to Hobie Milner with Freddie Freeman up and a 5-0 lead. And a check swing foul ball. Milner last year 2.01 ERA. The key there, the number against lefties, 159 batting average against.
yeah, and that's 2 lefties in the lineup that I'm sure that they aren't going to get pinch hit for.
With a runner at second base. And it's 0-2. It's a light pitch count at 68 to lift Aaron Nola with a 5-run lead. All the pitchers are stretched out enough to go 100 pitches at this point. There was the off day yesterday.
Yeah, the whole
Bullpen is rested. They have an extra arm in that bullpen because although Ben Lively will start Monday in New York, they could go again with Nola on Tuesday if they choose to.
Big Ben gets a hit off Syndergaard, or no? Who would pitch that game before? No, maybe Mats, huh? 4th starter for the Mets.
1-2 pitch coming to Freeman. Ben Lively is listed on the card in the bullpen, but we've seen him in the dugout
retrieving the water bottle.
Retrieving the water bottle, but he is in the bullpen. Gabe said he would be available if needed. Outside, nice play by Knapp. Wow.
Oh, that was stick your glove out and hope it hit it.
Sure was.
And it did. It's all going the Phillies' ways today. Look at that. Yeah, that just stick it out there and hope it hits it. A lot of people think there's great skill in that, but honestly, it's luck.
3-2.
I never picked the ball at first base. I thought, yeah, I knew it.
Maybe one low on the ground.
Luck.
Every bit of it.
Well, the long bounce, yeah, but those short ones.
in the air to right field. That one's going to be out of here. And the Braves are on the board. It's now a 5-2 ball game. Freddie Freeman had 28 home runs last year, his first here in 2018. And that'll wrap up the line on Aaron Nola.
Well, Freddie Freeman's not the best player in this team because he can't hit lefties. He can hit everyone, and I think there's sometimes during the season where you hope a lefty comes in because it makes you keep that front shoulder in, and Freddie kept that front shoulder in right there and delivered one into the seats and right to get the Braves back in this game.
All right, so now Markakis hits it right at Michael Franco, the only one on the left side, and he hit it right in the same spot that he was standing. 5-3 on the putout, 2 outs. And here comes Gabe Kapler, and that'll be it for Milner. They're going to go to Luis Garcia. So we'll have another pitching change there at SunTrust. So Milner is done. He gets 1 out. And Luis Garcia is coming on to try to get the last out of the 6th. Goes 5 1/3, 3 hits and 1 earned run. Milner allows the home run to Freeman and goes a third of an inning. Now he gives way to Luis Garcia here in the 6th inning. Luis comes in with an ERA of 2.65 to face Kurt Suzuki, who singled in his last at bat. All right, so last year Garcia was used later in games, but as we told you before, Gabe Kapler said that he'll go to his dudes when he feels like the game needs his dudes in them. Right, Murph?
He did indeed. It was a funny line during the reporter session this morning. You know, we knew that Gabe Kapler would handle the bullpen differently than we've seen in the past, and you're seeing an example of that as Luis Garcia plunks Kurt Suzuki right there. So Suzuki will take his base. You know, normally Luis Garcia you would think is a back end of the bullpen kind of guy, but that's not how they're going to play it. They feel like if the game is on the line, as Gabe said, at any point, really, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th inning, and they need an out, they may go with their best option. They may go with their best guy. He made sure not to mention any names. He didn't throw out any, you know, Hector Neris or Luis Garcia or anyone like that. He just said, if the game's on the line earlier than the 8th, 9th inning, we may go with our best guys. And I think, you know, that's going to be something that we'll see all season long, and certainly something that is different from the past.
Well, with Suzuki over at first base, Preston Tucker is coming up. Yeah, this 5-2 game. And a first pitch fastball is in there, and it's 0-1.
Hey, sadly, it's been a pretty rough game for the Braves catchers today. Tyler Flowers had to leave with 2 strikes in his first at bat of the season with an oblique, and Kirk Suzuki gets hit in the back.
In the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. That one's fouled off the foot of Tucker, and it's 1-2.
Working the kinks out, aren't we?
Yes, we are. Just don't draw on your new monitor. It's not a telestrator.
No, I know now.
Unless we give you a Sharpie, then you can draw all you want. Nobody else will see it, though.
Yeah.
Tucker is 0 for 2. He's flied out twice. Once to left, once to center. Swing and a miss. He got him. Throw him a split. Yeah, that wraps up this 6th inning. 2 runs do score on the home run by Freddie Freeman. The Braves leave 1. We'll go to the 7th with the Phils up by 3. On delivering to Cesar Hernandez. That's one piece of it right there. The home run to right field that started the 4-run inning. It was capped off by Andrew Knapp with this 2-run single. That gave the Phils at the time a 5-0 lead. Knapp's first hit of the year. But now as we take a look at your Delaware Valley Honda dealers game summary, we see the Braves got 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning on a home run by Freddie Freeman. So both starters are done. Tehran went 5 2/3, 4 earned runs. Aaron Nola went 5 1/3. He allowed 1 earned run. So Freddie Freeman goes back to work at first base. Cesar Hernandez in the box. And the first pitch by Winkler is in there for a strike. It's 0-1. Dan Winkler came on for Rex Brothers and allowed the 2-run single.
It's big right now for the Phillies. Try to get something on the board in this inning just to let the Braves know that we're not done either.
Cesar has 2 hits today. He's 2 for 3. 2 of the 5 hits for the Phils. Pretty sweet to look up on the board and see 667 if you're Cesar Hernandez.
No kidding. Wouldn't mind seeing that at the end of March either, or end of April either.
3-2. Carlos Santana getting his bat ready. And Cesar strikes out. 92 on the inner half. 1 John, here in the 7th. Time now for our Ram Trucks Stump the Fans trivia quiz answer. All right, John, here we go. Who were the starting pitchers the last time the Phillies opened the season in Atlanta in 2013?
I'm going to go with Cole Hamels with
Cole
the
Hamels
Phillies.
is correct. Congratulations,
And
John.
I just remembered, I keep forgetting that this guy pitched for the Braves for a number of years. Tim Hudson.
Tim Hudson. That is correct. He was the last one before Julio Teheran took over. Santana gets a strike, 0-1. Phillies wound up losing that ball game. Luis Avilan got the win for the Braves in that game. Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike to Santana. Sprayed off the third base line. They're playing Santana with a drastic overshift. We may never play a baseball game again without a shift of some sorts.
And you see how it works with Markakis. One guy on the left side of the diamond, and he hit it right at him. So Miguel Franco didn't have to move. You know, you would hope at some point that the hitters become a little smarter and say, well, if you're going to give it to me, I'm going to hit the ball the other way, and I'm going to, you know, if Carlos hits a routine grounder to where the third baseman is, it's a double.
Yes. Broke his bat on that foul ball.
You know, hitters complain about it, but do something about it.
Well, at this point, I mean, it's true. We'll never see a game without a shift. We may never see a game without the outfield shifting in the way things are going, too. So you have to make the adjustment.
I would think it's hard for me to fathom that a big league hitter on certain pitches can't hit the ball the other way. It's amazing to me that if they can't, how they got to this level. With only being able to hit the ball to one direction. And, you know, I get the whole thing. Well, people don't pay to see me hit singles. You know, okay. But they don't pay to come watch you hit grounders to shift all day either.
That is a mile-high foul ball. Right into the lap of somebody.
You know, I forget who was having this discussion with a former pitcher, and we were talking about, you know, these strikeouts don't mean anything anymore, and we're talking about guys hitting, you know, guy strikes out 200 times, but if he hits 40 homers, he's had a great year. But
there's a fly ball to center field. Let's see, Arte will put it away.
You know, what did he do his other 500 and so at bats?
Yeah.
You know.
Well, the next generation of hitters that come up, you would think that some will be keen enough to see it. Some.
Yeah, I don't know. I think those days of Wade Boggs and Tony Gwynn's is.
I think it's gone.
I think it's. Oh, it's. Well, I'm 57. I'm thinking in my lifetime it is.
Check swing, foul ball. I wonder, you know, we haven't seen enough of them, but even like a guy like Adam Hazley, who's in the Phil's farm system, if he could be one of those guys that, you know, that they play straight away as a left-handed hitter. And there are right-handed hitters that are the same way too,
yeah.
But we don't see the shift as drastic against righties. We're starting to, but we see it more with left-handers. Off the hands, out towards shallow lefts. Swanson is out, Tucker is in, and he makes the sliding red. And the Phillies are retired 1-2-3 here in the top of the 7th inning. Time to stretch in Atlanta. Opening day with the Phils on top 5-2. support Citizens Bank, the official bank of the Phils. Visit citizensbank.com. Well, the minor league season is about ready to get underway, so we wish the best of luck to all of the managers. Pat Porter's Williamsport team will get underway a little later on this year, but Gary Jones takes over in Lehigh Valley. Greg Legg is back in Reading. Sean Williams is in Clearwater, the son of Jimmy Williams, the former bench coach. Marty Malloy is in Lakewood. Sean Williams in Clearwater, Marty Malloy in Lakewood. We mentioned Pat Porter's the former big league catcher.
Disappointing.
Williamsport Crosscutters again. What's that?
They hired Pat Porter.
Why? Oh, yeah.
Blue Jay.
He was on the 93 Blue Jays team.
I have an issue with
Let
that.
bygones be bygones.
Okay,
John.
yeah, sure I will. I don't remember a lot of things from my past.
Yeah, you remember 93.
But that's one of them.
Yeah.
Now, Pat's a great guy, good baseball guy, you know, former catcher, of course. Those guys seem to make good managers. I'm sure he'll do a great job down there. Williamsport, which the Phillies are playing in Williamsport this year, huh?
They are, yeah. Later on this year, they're playing a Sunday night game.
That's a day off for you and I, ain't it?
That is correct. Unless you pick up some side work.
Nope. Only side work I'm picking up, golfing with Murph and betting him.
Dansby Swanson takes a strike. It's 0-1.
And if he wants to play more often and bet, then, you know, it's been nice working with you.
Because you'll make a living off it?
I think I could.
Listening to your scores today and his scores yesterday, I think you could also.
A little rough yesterday for Murph?
Well, it wasn't just yesterday. I think since Murph has come aboard and joined us, we have diminished his golf game. It's through osmosis, Murph. That's what we're thinking.
I'm not going to disagree with that. It's all about bad habits.
No balls at 2 strikes to Swanson.
I'd have played with y'all yesterday, but that drive, man, that took longer than I thought. That thing on the car said 7 hours. That thing lied to me.
Wait, 9.5, 10?
Oh, well, what time was the game over? 4? I left about 5.
Yeah, you left at 5, close to 5. Got here at 2:30.
Yeah.
0-2 pitch to Swanson. Broke his bat. And 1 away here in the 7th. Every time the Phillies pitchers retire, the opposing team 1-2-3. Comcast makes a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, America's best internet provider, according to speedtest.net.
It's happened twice.
Yeah, Aaron Nola was so good today. Lifted after 68 pitches in 5 1/3. He had allowed just the 3 hits and a walk, struck out 3. Here's Ryan Flaherty. Talked to Ryan before the ball game. He had such a good spring for the Phillies, but with the youth movement the Phillies are undergoing, and with the spring that Scott Kingery had, and even Yesmuel Valentin, Pedro Florimon, there really wasn't any room at the inn for Flaherty with the Phils. That one's back toward the middle. Crawford will have it. And Ryan said he decided to sign with the Braves because with Camargo being on the disabled list, it'll give him a chance to play a little bit more on an everyday basis as a starter. And then there will be other opportunities with the Braves to play shortstop, to play second, to spell some of the younger guys once Camargo comes back.
Yeah, and that's a smart move. You know, you're going to get in, you're going to get you know, some playing time because of the injury to Camargo, and you know, but it, you know, again, it's, you know, if you're Ryan Flaherty, you got to produce.
Here's Lane Adams pitch hitting, and it's 0-1 Adams.
This is a little easier than spring training game.
You think?
Although both teams are running through some pitching, aren't they?
Changing face of baseball. Over to third base. Franco charging. That's a fair ball right at the bag. Throws on the run, not in time. Adams will leg it out for an infield hit. Well, there was not much that Mike Kell could do. He did exactly what he could in that because he was playing so far back.
Yeah, Yeah, nothing you can do. Lane Adams is not a guy that's going to bunt, so you play a little deeper. You see where Franco's playing a little deeper, and trust me, everything he could do, he did everything correctly, made a nice strong throw. Smart by Santana. Come off the base, catch that ball in the air. You know, if he tries to stay back on the base and scoop it, it could get by him. And we have a pitching change.
All right, so Gabe Kapler is out. Luis Garcia will check out of the ball game. Adam Morgan's coming in. We'll be back with his numbers right after this. With 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning, Adam Morgan is coming into the ballgame. Friday, April 27th, when the Phillies take on the Atlanta Braves at Citizens Bank Park. That's a 7:05 start. After the game, stay for a free post-game concert featuring Grammy-winning artist Zedd. Your game ticket is your concert ticket. We want Ray Tipton, one of our directors, to pay attention here. Your game ticket is your concert ticket. No additional purchase is necessary. Tickets are on sale now at phillies.com/Zedd.
Grammy winners, Zedd. I have to broaden my horizons. I've never heard of that.
We've had Zedd at the ballpark before.
They're not country though.
And Zedd is not country.
Yeah, that's why I wouldn't know who they are.
Zedd's also appearing down here in Atlanta on the 12th of May, in case anybody's wondering.
Huh.
All right, so here's Adam Morgan.
Making his way around Major League Baseball, huh?
Yes, sir. Inciarte doubled and scored his last time up. Good numbers against Adam Morgan. I think sometimes with those numbers against Morgan, though, you have to differentiate them. Yeah. Second half of last year compared to everything else.
Yes, different pitcher. Second half of last year, he was dominant. Fastball in the mid to upper 90s. Of course, we know about the great changeup that he has.
Short lead over at first base for Lane Adams. The count is 0-2. There's the slider from Adam Morgan. See the post All-Star break numbers last year. I mean, just ridiculously good.
And so happy for him because he's such a good guy and really polite. But what he did last year in that second half, accepting, okay, if I'm going to be a bullpen guy, I'm going to be the best bullpen guy I can be. Man, did he make a difference in that bullpen at the end of the season.
Ran the fastball up at 96 miles an hour.
Along with him and Luis Garcia had a good second half.
Hobie Milner was good.
Hobie was really good. Now, you think about Hobie, though. His job is we're going to get the lefties out. So he's going to be facing Freddie Freeman, who took him deep today. Inciarte, if the game's middle innings on the line.
Over to second base, picked up by Cesar. Inning is over. 3 ground outs and a pitching change, and the Phils watch the Braves leave one here in the 7th. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. We have completed our first 7. Honda dealer. Visit DelValHondaDealers.com. And by WB Mason. Who bought WB Mason for fast, free delivery? Nobody does it better. Phillies are on top 5-2. Peter Moylan is the new pitcher for the Braves. Let's take a look at our Hyundai defensive play of the game.
Well, Aaron Nola did it all. There's that great defensive play off the bat of Julio Teheran. Look at them quick reflexes. He said he wasn't going to be nervous. I don't think that heartbeat ever gets up over what it should be.
Saw his dad in the...
That's our Hyundai defensive play of the game. Let me finish, please.
Yep. Brought to you by your local Hyundai dealer.
Absolutely.
Saw Aaron's dad in the hotel today. He was excited to get a chance to see his son pitch this opener.
That would be awesome, wouldn't it, to watch your son pitch an opening day? If your son was a pitcher, of course. Probably wouldn't be much fun if he wasn't. Of course, if he wasn't, your team's going to stink if he's pitching opening day.
We just made that really
I can
complicated.
go on and on. Life's complicated. No, but I saw a few fathers down there in the lobby today, and they're as excited as I think their kids were.
One ball and 2 strikes to Hoskins. Peter Moylan has had his arm reconstructed. It's got to be 3 times. And somehow is still pitching. Incredible story from Australia. Was a rugby player in Australia, and somehow found himself over toward the baseball fields and became a pitcher and worked his way to the big leagues in what is one of the truly great stories for a baseball player, and has been around for a long time now.
Good guy. Really, really nice guy.
Been with the Braves on several different occasions. Looper down the left field line. That's going to be another base hit for Rhys Hoskins. He's going to try for 2. Tucker with his throw, and it won't be in time. 2 doubles for Rhys Hoskins here this afternoon.
Whole new dimension to his game, the speed. Look at Rhys. But you know what? That's a double out of the box. As soon as that ball left his bat, he's reaching out for it. He hooks it down the left field line, but had momentum going to first, but he didn't stop to watch. Take a quick peek at right after it leaves the bat, right there, and then put your head down and run. You know it's fair. You know where the left fielder is, and just keep on going.
Well, now Aaron Altair, who's been on base twice today, trying to drive in another run for the Phils here in the top of the 8th inning. The Phillies up 5-2.
This is one of those situations where you'd like to see Aaron advance Reese to third base. Less than 2 outs.
Ooh, he tied him up with 90 on the hands. J.P. Crawford on deck. And a strike 3 called on Aaron Altair. That was a flying saucer.
Yeah, that thing was spinning behind Aaron and ended up on the outer half.
A little different third strike call by Jerry Lane. Kept it close to the vest. Crawford is 0 for 2. He walked his last time up and scored a run.
You know, Peter Moylan must be a good guy to have around, because what the Braves have brought him back how many times?
I think this is the 3rd time that he's back with Atlanta.
That's what I thought. And he, you know, teams don't bring you back 3 times if you're not a good guy to have around.
The other times that he left were because he was injured and was fighting back with another team. Most recently, the Kansas City Royals. Moylan was with the Braves in the big leagues in 06 until 2012, went to the Dodgers, came back to the Braves a year later after injury, and then went to the Royals, pitched in 50 games in 16 and then 79 games last year. His career numbers, a 3 ERA.
Pretty good.
Yeah, in this day and age, that's not too shabby, considering he was in the American League a little bit too. Outside, 2-2.
That's one thing about J.P. Crawford you'll notice, is he does see a lot of pitches.
Yeah, very few times you will see a very short at bat from him.
Sometimes that's a good thing, and sometimes that's not so good.
Balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, and a bouncing ball foul, and it remains 3-2.
Do you see his swing as being too big? I know he has the launch angle, you know, but he seems like he's a big swinger for a guy that probably not going to have a lot of power.
Well, you would know that better than I would, but it does seem long at times like there, where it's wrapped and then it comes through the strike zone.
I would just think that a guy like that would be more advantageous to hitting the ball on the ground, hard on the ground on the line, but with his swing path, you saw it right there, the uppercut swing that he has. I mean, he flew out twice and walked, and now he struck out. just wonder if there was any point where
In the minor
a
leagues,
hitting
they try to
instructor
change
would
it.
say, let's try to level out your swing a little bit. But
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's exactly how it was last year. I mean, we would all agree with that. There hasn't been any change from last year.
and if he's hitting 40 homers and hitting 270, that's great. But I don't think he has that 40 homers in him.
1 ball, 1 strike to Franco. Franco walked and picked up an RBI his last time up. He is 0 for 2. Broken back ground ball over to third, foul.
He's a new one.
Sam Freeman is warming up in the bullpen for the Braves, hard-throwing left-hander. In the Phillies bullpen, Adebray Ramos is firing away. Phillies bullpen includes Victor Arano, as well as Ramos. Jake Thompson made the club, and he's in the bullpen. Drew Hutchinson is kind of a swing guy right now. Outside, 2-2.
But here's where the game has changed a little. You get a leadoff double, and 2 outs now, 2 strikeouts, and Reese is still at second. You know, you look at percentages of how a guy can score from third with less than 2 outs, and then again with 2 outs. It's, you like your percentages.
No question.
And Peter Moreland is a sidearm pitcher who, if he holds on to one a little too long, can throw it away. I mean, the pitch before that last one there to Franco was Suzuki made a great play on.
Yeah, I would think, and you're right, it has changed. I would think that's one part of the game that you would like to revert back to the way it used to be.
Yeah, depending on who it is.
Inside 3-2. So back-to-back 3-ball, 2-strike counts.
Yeah, the thing about it is that you wouldn't want to see Reese with the runner on second just give himself up and hit a grounder the other way. But, you know, Reese has the ability to hit the ball the other way, which we've seen in his first at bat.
Heck of a grab by a fan in the third row. I think he broke his back doing it, though. He had plenty of room to get up and make the catch, and he just reached back and, well, I'm not sure if I could bend like that.
And after my own heart, why get up and do anything?
Outside ball 4. So Franco walks for the second time today. And that brings Andrew Knapp up, and it brings Brian Snitker out to the mounds. And they're going to bring in the lefty to face Andrew Knapp. So he'll go back and change his helmet. We've got another pitching change. The Phils have 2 men on and 2 outs here in the top of the 8th inning. Come on in, Sam. of the game. Reese Hoskins had himself a good day so far.
Yes, he has, and a good start to his season. A double down the right field line to score Carlos Santana with the Phillies' first run of 2018. And then Peter Moylan, a little sidearm slider that didn't get away. You saw Suzuki put his head down, and he legs out a double to left field. He's also added a stolen base. And those are our deliveries of the game, brought to you by W.B. Mason, courtesy of Reese Hoskins.
And Hoskins, the first Philly with 2 doubles on opening day since Chase Utley did it back in 2006 against the St. Louis Cardinals.
Good guy to be tied with anything.
No question about that. Here's Sam Freeman. Freeman had a nice ERA last year, 2.55. And facing Andrew Knapp. Knapp had a 2-run single in his first at-bat and a swing and a miss here.
Didn't it seem like we saw Freeman every game last year?
I think that's going to wind up being the case if he sticks with this team. Because he can get lefties and righties out, but it did seem as the year went on that he was in every game. Inside, 1-1.
Saw it there, mid-90s fastball by Freeman. Not a huge guy. Throw that hard.
Mm. 1-2.
Wonder what Andrew was looking for there.
And looking out over the plate a little farther, or maybe in. I don't know. It was right down the middle.
Good look for that one.
Hoskins began the inning with a double. And then 2 batters later, Michael Franco worked out his second walk of the day. And Knapp goes after a changeup and is tagged out for the final out. 3 strikeouts in the inning. The Phils leave a couple. And Hoskins left out in scoring position. We'll move to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's 5-2 Phils. Phils hoping to get 6 more outs from their bullpen. They've made some changes in the outfield. Odubel Herrera comes on to play center field, and Aaron Altair moves from center over to right field. They're looking at the Cards. And Nick Williams moves from right field over to left field. So Reese Hoskins, his day is done.
But normally, last year when they did the the lead, and they took Reese out of, he moved into first base, but now you got to take Santana out.
Yeah, Santana's a Gold Glove caliber first baseman, so he stays in. Ozzie Albies is at the plate. The count, no balls and 1 strike. Change up low, 1-1. Fly ball left center field. Odubel on the run, and it's going to be over his head and over the wall. Ozzie Albies has made this a 5-3 game with a solo home run, the second homer of the day for the Braves. And still nobody out here in the 8th inning. Projected home run distance 407 feet on that home run. Carried pretty good, didn't
Yeah, it did, but he went out and got it too as a pitch away from him, and to hit it in the left center with that sort of power. Front foot off his front foot, but like you said, that ball's carrying today out, wind blowing out. Now it's getting a little interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, Freddie Freeman now up in a 2-run game. Freeman homered his last time up. That was against Hobie Milner. Outside, 2-0. You've got Freeman and then Nick Markakis after the home run by Ozzie Albies. So you figure Morgan's going to be in there for these 2 lefties.
And Suzuki and another lefty.
3-0. Ramos in the bullpen.
Well, I'm assuming if the tying run comes up with Suzuki, that Ramos will be in the game to face him.
I would agree with that.
I think he would leave Adam Morgan in. First things first, let's get Freeman.
Got him to flinch a little bit on that breaking ball. It's 3-2. Phillies scored 1 in the first, 4 in the 6th. They had a 5-0 lead going to the bottom of the 6th inning. Inside ball 4. Freeman walks for the second time. And Aaron Nola was lifted after 68 pitches in the 6th inning. Hobie Milner came on, gave up a 2-run home run. And the Phils are trying to get 6 more outs.
Yes. Big. And I'm sure that they get those 6 out. I'm sure Gabe Kapler's going to be asked about some decisions. And it'll be interesting to see what he says. I know opening day you'd like to clean the slate and get everyone in.
Markakis takes a fastball up. It's 1-0. Markakis today is 0 for 3. He's grounded out, he's lined out, and he's popped out. Fooled on that one. It's 1-1.
That's one right there that Markakis is probably happy he didn't make contact with, because that one wasn't going far. Now right here, if you're Markakis, he can bunt. I mean, why wouldn't you try to push it past Adam Morgan, and now you have first and second, you're the tying run on.
Because you only have Franco over there. We talked about that. He hit it right to Franco his last time up on the left side. Phillies playing to pull on the infield to go the other way in the outfield. And he just didn't bite and went farther away from the plate. 2-2.
You see the defensive alignment really. Infield plays him to pull, outfield shades him the other way. And if he hits one down the right field line, everyone's going to run for a while, including Aaron Altair. You'd have to think if you're Markakis, you have to look away, wouldn't you? Hey, if you're a hitter and you go up there and you see where they're playing you in the outfield, you don't even bother with the infield. But you see where they're playing you in the outfield. Wouldn't you think they're going to pitch me away?
I would. I mean, I know some of it's based on his tendencies too. Got him. Up and in, fastball at 96. 1 out here in the 8th inning. And Kapler's up the stairs to make another pitching change. Take a look at that last pitch before we say goodbye to Morgan.
A lot of off-speed pitches away that Markakis, and then he just busts him up and in with that mid-90s fastball to get that swing and miss. And here comes Ramos.
So another pitching change for the Phils. We'll see our 5th pitcher of the day as Adam Morgan's afternoon is complete. Phillies on top 5-3 over the Braves. Their section, and they're going to bring them all home. The Braves fans were down 5-0 at one point. Now it's a 5-3 game with a runner at first. Adebayo Ramos is in. Those are his numbers from last year. So he's in instead of Neshek coming in this spot, with Freddie Freeman over at first base.
Hey, here's where you got to be careful too with Suzuki. He'll jump on that first pitch fastball if it's middle in, and we know what the wind's doing. Got to be really careful right here with him.
The first pitch is in there. It's 0-1 to Suzuki.
Yeah, breaking ball.
Good numbers for Suzuki in late game spots last year. He had a solid season last year. And Ramos throws another breaking ball, and it's 0-2. Well, I don't think he was looking for that pitch.
No, he was looking dead red. I'm going to tie this baby up. But smart pitch selection and good located pitches by Ramos.
Now we can get another one.
Yeah, you got to try it.
No balls and 2 strikes to Suzuki. Throws a fastball up. A good setup, and coming back again with the breaking ball.
Yeah, that's a show me. I'll let you know I have one, but you ain't going to get one to hit. Because here comes Mr. Slitty.
did throw it. Nice play by Knapp to smother it. It's 2-2.
I think without question you got to go back to that pitch, because as far away and down as that pitch was, Suzuki still,
yeah, he's leaking for it.
Looked like he wanted to attack it. 2 strikes, he's in swing mode. You don't have to throw the perfect one, you just have to throw a good one. Throwing over. Base stealing threat, Freddie Freeman.
Picked the spots last year.
He did. He picks and chooses. Down 2 in the 8th inning. I'm 1 out. I'm not sure that this is the time, but
popped him up. Santana will give it a peek. It's going to be back into the seats, though. And it remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Had a pretty good pace to it early on, the way both starting pitchers were rolling. John Maley going over some scouting reports with Scott Kingery. Another one pop foul and out of play, back into the seats. And we'll go at it one more time.
the pitcher spot leads off for the Phil, so you might see Mr. Kingery get his first at bat of his big league career.
I mean, it's not a bad idea to let him roll into a pinch hitting performance. He's probably going to start tomorrow. That's what you did. Your first game was as a pinch hitter, right?
Pinch runner.
Pinch runner?
Well, don't let the size fool you. I was really slow.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Suzuki. Fastball in, 3-2.
Just think how the poor guy felt when I said, "Hey, I'm running for you."
Who was it? Steve Garvey?
I have no idea. I can't remember. Might have been Terry Kennedy, maybe. Can't remember. Bochy, maybe. I'd fly past Bochy.
So you got to find out if it's Bochy, then you can bring it up to him. Just swipe the bag.
Hit and run. Hitter didn't swing. Left to dry.
Freeman goes. Pitches in the dirt. Ball 4. And now runners on first and second with 1 man down. Well, the walk certainly hurt the Braves when the Phillies scored their 4 runs. And now 2 walks in this inning following the home run. And Preston Tucker is coming up as the rain starts to fall there at SunTrust. We had suspected we were going to get the rain at some point today. It's supposed to rain through the night here in Atlanta.
There goes me and Murph jog after the game.
Well, you can always jog in the rain.
No,
it'd be refreshing.
No. So sweet, that melt.
Tucker is 0 for 3, struck out in his last at bat. Big spot for Ramos. And that one goes all the way back to the screen. The throw to third is on one hop and into left field. Freeman will score. Suzuki will go to third, and all of a sudden, it's a 1-run game. So the wild pitch will allow the runners to move up 1 base, and then the error on Knapp will allow the runners to move up another base.
Did they even check to see if he swung? They have on the board they have 0-1, but I never saw Jerry Lane indicate whether he swung or not.
I didn't check it either, yeah. So Suzuki's going to check out. The speedy Peter Borges is going to be over at third base as a pinch runner.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a swing.
Oh, yeah, he went
by Tucker, but
they're saying it's 1 ball and no strikes. They're going to switch it. I don't know if Knapp realizes it. No matter now. And now it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Jerry Lane signaled up to the press box that it was going to be 1-0 on that pitch.
Why didn't they ask for an appeal?
I think they saw 0-1 on the board and thought it was 0-1.
Man. Yeah, because Knapp's asking him now.
He just signaled again, and Andrew Knapp is.
Yeah, it's too late now. You can't ask for an appeal now.
Boy, that's a shame.
Yeah,
I'm not saying you always have to rely on the scoreboard. I mean, I know we do.
I think Gabe's going to come out and try to find out. Oh, God. They're lucky they called timeout because Ramos just balked. Ramos saw Gabe come out of the dugout, and he just walked off the mound.
Yeah, so Gabe Kapler's asking about that. I mean, they would have appealed. There's no question about it if they didn't see what the scoreboard had said. I would think they just assumed.
Yes.
Here's Ramos, is
now
what John was saying.
Now, Gabe just starts coming out, and Ramos sees him. Now watch, he just kind of walks off the mound.
Jerry finally sees him, and then he puts the hand up.
Oh, thank goodness.
In the dirt, 2-1. 2-2. Boy, could you use a strikeout here or what?
Big time, big time.
Phillies had a 5-0 lead. They lifted their starter in the 6th inning, Aaron Nola, after 68 pitches, with a runner on and 1 man down. And he was humming along.
Yeah, he didn't have many issues, did he?
Now the 2-2 pitch coming. And a line drive into center field, a base hit, and the Braves have tied the game up at 5. An RBI single by Preston Tucker. Boy, it's so unfortunate on so many levels. But in particular for Aaron Nola, who was pitching so well through 5 1/3, that had not allowed a run when he was lifted from the game.
Now that the game is tied, there's only 1 out, but we don't have Rhys Hoskins anymore in the lineup.
Right, Hoskins was taken out.
Switched out.
And 1 to Swanson. Ball outside, 1-1.
And how big was that check swing that was not called, not appealed by the Phillies because they assumed it was a strike because of what the board said?
Listen, we all did.
Yeah.
Until we saw Jerry Lane put the finger up saying 1-0. Check swing again. Ball gets away from Knapp. Tucker didn't realize it.
Yeah, I couldn't see it. He's talking to EY. And that's a hard thing too for a coach to tell him to go. That thing just sneaks by Knapp, and I'm sure Jerry Lane's right leg blocked the view of Preston Tucker to see where that ball exactly was. Break for the Phillies.
So we get a best 2-2. Phillies have Pat Neshek available in the bullpen, but they went with Ramos. Listen, you roll the dice with guys. Ramos was throwing the ball very well in spring training, but it seemed to be a spot that Neshek could be available for. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did, says Greg Gibson. 2 outs.
I'd like to see that again, but I think I'm going to agree with Dansby Swanson on that one. I mean, we'll take it. Don't get me wrong. But I don't know if he swung at this one or not. More body than anything. Yeah.
Well, he did hold up.
He did.
You're right, it was more body.
Yep. Like I said, look, a gift horse in the mouth, right?
Well, the Phillies didn't get the strike they needed earlier in this inning.
Yeah.
All right, here's Ryan Flaherty now with a runner at first and 2 men down. Phillies had a 5-0 lead, and the Braves have climbed back and tied it at 5. Flaherty had a bunt single his first time up and grounded out his other 2 times. And he takes on the or off the inside corner and low, and it's 1-0. Toward third, played perfectly by Michael Franco. The Braves, though, scored 3 runs in the inning and have tied this game up at 5. We go to the top of the 9th inning and a 5-5 ball game. Ben Davis highlights an analysis of this ball game, all the moves that have been made. Cura Auto Insurance presents Phillies post-game live coming up after the ball game. Well, we go to the top of the 9th inning and we're tied up at 5. Not sure if we anticipated this after the Phillies had jumped out to a 5-0 lead. Gabe Kapler is talking to Jerry Lane about some changes. Vizcaino is in for the Braves here in the top of the 9th inning. He's their closer. Bringing their closer in to try to keep this at a 5-5 game. Vizcaino last year had 14 saves and 17 opportunities. They kind of had a closer by committee the whole year. Jim Johnson was their closer at certain points. The Braves also have Chris Stewart in the game behind the plate. He's their last catcher. They've used 3 catchers today. So here's Pedro Florimon to pinch hit. All right, so we reset here in the top of the 9th inning. It'll be the Braves bullpen against the Phils bullpen, which has been the case pretty much the last several innings. Braves bullpen has allowed 1 run. Phillies bullpen, meanwhile, has allowed 4 runs. No balls and 1 strike to Florimone. And now 1-1. Florimone is batting here in the 9th inning for the pitcher.
Welcome to your first game of the year. Come and get some of this 99.
Gallardo just pours it in. 97 on that fastball. And it's 1-2.
Had to take a little off of it to command it better.
3 straight fastballs.
Well, let's see why you would change right now. Coming out at 97 to 99.
He threw a breaking ball. And Florimone is going to be retired on the strikeout. 2-3. So 1 out and back to the top of the order for Cesar Hernandez. Cesar is 2 for 4 today. Homered in his last at bat.
Like Hector Neris is going to be coming in. Huh? Are we running out yet?
Yeah, they still have Jake Thompson, Drew Hutchinson,
Neshek, right?
Neshek, although Neshek is still sitting on the bench out there in the bullpen. No balls and 1 strike to Cesar. And 0-2. There's Jake Thompson. Victor Arano is also available. He and Jake Thompson are chatting in the bullpen. Ball is fouled away and it remains 0-2 to Cesar. 99 miles an hour. Hector Neris warming up. Check swing. Did he go? No. 2-2. Jordan Baker is the third base umpire.
That Dansby Swanson wishes he was a left-handed hitter.
No. Cesar went farther than Swanson did. Oh, somebody just got thrown out of the ball game. Game 1 and somebody's been ejected from the ball game. Ryan Snitker coming out. I don't know if it was Snitker or not. He looks like he's mad enough that it was him.
Yeah, he's going to go over and talk to Jordan Baker over at third, just to let him know how he feels about it. Him at this particular moment.
Got to get out there quicker though, Johnny.
Are they going to put a clock on arguments?
It must have been Snitker that was thrown out.
Tell you what, too, that's a long way to hear. You know, unless you're listening for it, that would have been an easy one for the umpire to just turn his back and walk down the line.
And he's used most of his bench. So I mean, unless it was a coach, but I think it had to be him.
Well, it wasn't Dansby. I watched Dansby. As soon as he called it a non-strike, he turned his back and started gently walking towards center field.
It wasn't Culberson, who's at third base now. You don't even get a chance to finish watching the entire game on opening day. We'll give the lineup card to Walt Weiss. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Cesar Hernandez. Swing and a miss. 5 straight outs for the Braves bullpen on strikeouts. And here comes Carlos Santana. Jordan Baker said stop to Brian Snitker. And then he threw him out. He got the call right. I mean, Cesar didn't go.
No, he didn't. But again,
I think it was Dansby Swanson's that sort of set him off.
Yeah. And, you know, it would have been easy for Jordan Baker just to walk back down the line a little further and warn him one more time. And then if he did it again, then, you know, 3 strikes, you're out. But, hey, at this point.
Little tapper. Ball and 1 strike.
I need Santana to get his first big league hit.
Yeah, here in the National League.
That's the big leagues. Another league. Another league. Come on.
Bit outside, and now 3-1 to Santana. Nick Williams is on deck. And don't forget, as John pointed out before, when the switch was made with Williams moving from right to left, the Phillies would be without Rhys Hoskins if the Braves happen to tie it up, and the Braves have tied it up. Three and 2 to Santana.
3-1 changeup?
Yeah, for a guy that throws 99. What's left of the 40,000 plus coming to their feet, and Santana strikes out. 99 on the heater. And Vizcaíno strikes out the side here in the top of the 9th inning. 9 straight outs recorded by the Braves bullpen thanks to the strikeout. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th, all tied up at 5. Nothing. They've tied it up at 5. We're going to the bottom of the 9th inning, and the Phillies will bring Hector Neris into the ball game. The Phillies closer, although it could be anybody that closes.
Any one of the dudes.
Any one of them. Any one of the dudes. So Neris is on. Charlie Culberson will be the batter. He came on to play third base in the top of the 9th inning. And he dribbles one up the third base line. Neris is off the mound, bare hands, and throws wide of first. leadoff batter is aboard. Well, a clean throw would have had him. I thought Culberson would beat that easily, but a clean throw would have had him.
Yeah, it would have, and that, you know, Hector gets off the mound pretty quick. He's got that. You know, the thing about him is that you can throw from different angles like most pitchers can't. I think this one here, he did everything right. Bare hand, got his feet set. He just kind of crossfired it, threw it up the line a little bit.
So a leadoff infield hit. Here's Inciarte. You assume he's bunting here, right? Can't assume anything anymore.
I have no idea.
And a quick toss over.
Tell you what, though, might go unnoticed is the play by Santana to keep that ball from going down the right field line.
See what the Phillies bullpen has done today. 5 1/3 strong from Aaron Nola. And lifted after he allowed a base runner in the 6th inning. See the numbers against Neris. Those throwovers keeping Culberson close. Also seeing if Inciarte is going to square or not. Well, I think now they're just to keep him close. Dusty Wathan is signaling the throwovers.
If you're going to make him mad, make him really mad. Throw over again.
And he bunts back toward the mound. Neris off the hill. Sacrifice is successful. It's a solid bunt. Textbook. And now Albies is coming up. We also have Freeman lurking as well.
Yeah, and the one thing that does here, you saw the great bunt by Inciarte to get Culberson to second base, but the one thing this does, if you get Albies out, it's a without question an automatic walk to
Very true.
Freddie Freeman. And that's the issue as a manager you have to take into consideration.
Albies going up there hacking against that split.
It's not so much what it does to the next hitter after a bunt, it's your guy. I mean, he's the one that the Phillies don't want to let beat him, and you get Albies out now and the Phillies don't have to pitch to Freeman. But first we have to get Albies out.
Yeah. 96. I don't think he was expecting that kind of heater. And now it's 0-2.
We've seen some pretty indifferent swings today, haven't we?
The ball's at 2 strikes. And that ball gets away, but yeah, Albies hit it. It was inadvertent, but he did hit it. They're going to send Culberson back to second base.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
I don't think so either.
And it's not something Albies did, like not intentional. That's what he does after every pitch.
Yeah, it was inadvertent.
You see him right there looking at Jerry Lane. My bad, man. My bad.
Fly ball. Short left. Nick Williams toward the line. And now 2 outs.
Yeah, Freddie Freeman might as well just walk to first.
He's walking up to the plate, looking over to the Phillies dugout. Rob Thompson already signaled 4 fingers. Dave Kapler is trying to get the attention of the home plate umpire. He is going to be walked intentionally. It'll be his 3rd walk of the day. And Markakis is coming up. It is a no-brainer on so many levels to take the bat out of his hand. No offense to Markakis.
Yeah, but that's the risk you have when you bunt Inciarte. Yeah, you're staying out of the double play. You're putting the winning run at second with less than 2 outs, and but you also risk, if your second hitter doesn't get on base, your big gun, your third hitter ain't gonna hit.
Kickoff play is on.
Here's where you got to be careful too with Markakis is, you know, if he shortens up his swing and just decides to hit the ball the other way, could be game over.
A little bit of a quick pitch from Hector Neris. It winds up low, but it's 1-0. Borges is on deck. He slides into the catcher's spot in this lineup after coming on to pinch run for Kurt Suzuki. In the air to right field. Altera is going back, and that is it. The ball game is over. A 3-run home run for Nick Markakis, and the Atlanta Braves down 5-0 on opening day. Storm back and win it in the bottom of the 9th inning on a 3-run home run, 8-5. That is a heartbreaking loss when you were in total control into the 6th inning behind a starting pitcher that was flat out dominant here this afternoon, and you had a 5-0 lead. 8-5 the final score. They get to celebrate here in Atlanta after a 3-run home run by Nick Markakis. Nick Markakis is our Chevrolet player of the game. They walked Freddie Freeman, certainly the right move, to then give way to Markakis, who got one up into the jet stream here, and there's no doubt about this one. I mean, wind or no wind, I mean, it was flying.
Yeah, once it left the bat, this game was over. And, you know, give credit to Nick Markakis, who pitched down the middle. You still have to hit it, though, and he did put a charge in it and sent the Phillies home. We're back to the hotel with a big loss.
Hey, listen, put it in perspective. It's only game 1, but this is a disappointing loss. When your ace was on the mound and you were on top 5-0, and in reality, the Braves hitters were not touching him, and the bullpen just could not hold on to a 5-0 lead.
Yeah, you know, it's one of those things where you can't wait for the starting pitcher to get out of the game.
That's
and
it.
It doesn't matter what reliever you brought in.
So final score, it's the Braves 8, the Phillies 5. We'll be back to SunTrust Park, disappointingly, to wrap up today's ball game.